Hello, everyone. Hello, hello, hello. So let's get this party started. We have a few minutes still until the show starts, and I have to spam Twitter and stuff. So please give me a hand. Let's try to get more people in here. So, if you have Twitter, tweet stuff like this. So I'm going to do my chores. Hello. Hello, everyone. Oh, I see also a few new nicknames. Nice. Oh no, it's only 1080. Shit. Well. Twitch. Damn Twitch. Yeah. I don't know. Hopefully it gets better once. Thank you. Thank you for the blue screen. Um. Oh yeah. Um. Join us. Thank you. yeah. For the blue screen. Everyone. You people have too many bugs. Come and join us. Zig 0.7.0. Tables, Parrot. The really party. Start in a few minutes. Also, party emoji. the, the part where you have to Google the party emoji. Meantime, you can join the pre-show. Okay. Oof. Any typo? I think not. I think we're good. Oh, what's the third party emoji? Oh no. Hard problems, I know. Oh, it's called confetti ball, of course. Hey, Tiny Gerbil, thank you for the follow. Oh, also Nipsey, thank you for renewing the subscription. Why did I miss the notification? Oh, whoops. Albo Jason, thank you for the Prime subscription. Thank you very much. Makes me happy knowing that these are $2 less that get into Jeff Bezos' pocket. 0.7, I think, came out 2 minutes ago or something. Okay, so I think I did my duty on Twitter. Just one last retweet and we are done. The bot, of course, in my Discord doesn't do its job. Release party is live. Join. Mark. How's the other Discord doing? Okay, boom. How's RC doing? From RC2. Okay, so let's see. I think I'm done. Lower PSD price of Riot. Okay, I will lower it. Oh man, I will lower it. I promise. The CI job failed for the 0.7 commit. Oh no. You can get this hoodie, by the way, from the Wilson shop. It's listed in the community wiki page on GitHub. It's nice. It's maybe I'm a bit too picky when it comes. I don't know. I don't care about dressing well, but I get annoyed by cheap clothing also, and these things don't make the best clothing ever. But they look nice, and it's fine. It's all fine. 84 viewers. Holy crap. Okay, I think we're having a few technical difficulties. Let's see if we can get through them. Thank you, Felix, for the Prime. Oh my god, hype train. Oh. Let's see. Okay, new mentions. Oh no, what am I missing? You should ping the live announcement. You should ping with everyone. I know. I think I already annoyed people enough with the other everyone. I don't want to abuse my at everyone powers. Okay, so I think Andrew is having connection problems of some kind. So we're gonna try to get him in here and see if it works. Oh man. Okay. Let me catch up with everything else. Okay. Electron, thank you for the Prime. Thank you for the follow, Martin Wickman. Thank you, XRTV. Thank you for the follow. Hey everyone. Okay, so Nipsey is even gifty subs. Oh man. Thank you everyone for the support. So let's try to get Andrew in here and get the actual party started. So whenever you're ready, let me know. And also, I need to. Holy cow! Thank you for the follows, everyone, and for the subscriptions, for the primes especially. Thank you very much. That's awesome. Let me see. Studio mode. Okay. Okay, so we set up. Oof. Thank you for the cheer. Thank you, everyone. So we're getting there. Expected git tag 0.6, found 0.7. Oh no. The CI is not ready for the new tag yet. It's fine. We're gonna fix everything up, and I think also we're gonna talk about this stuff during the stream. So we need Andrew in the waiting room. Oh, also that's interesting. So I have to mute notifications if we want to hear Andrew. Sorry, they will still play. We are just not going to be able to hear them. No, not like this. Okay, it's already done. Okay. Hi, Andrew. Can you hear me? Maybe not. Oh, hello. Hi, Andrew.
Hi.
So I think this is working, right?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, awesome. So you were saying that you had trouble opening the stream.
Yeah, I just don't have enough bandwidth to watch it, so I'm getting kind of 5-second clips, and then it skips around, and then I get a 5-second clip.
Oh, I see. By the way, we are on stream right now, just so you know.
Oh, are we? Hi,
Yeah,
everybody.
yeah. I see. The problem, I think, is that Twitch decided to be naughty and it didn't want to give us, all the transcoding options. I don't know. Hopefully, we are more than 100 people watching now, so
Nice.
it should sooner or later. I don't know. It's annoying. In theory, by being affiliate, I should get some form of prioritization, but I guess that's not enough. So, do you know how to open Twitch chat without the video?
Oh, I can do that. Yes. Okay, let
Okay.
me do that.
Because
And I can at least talk to everybody.
yep, exactly. I mean, once you have Twitch chat, that's basically it. Also, do you think we can try to enable the webcam?
Oh, yeah, sure.
You think it should
We can
work?
try that.
Okay.
Do I need to click something? I click video?
Yes, you need to. Yeah.
Okay.
Let's see if I can see you.
Let me switch it to a webcam.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Yep. Okay, I can see you. Give me a second. I have to put you on screen because there's one final piece that I haven't done yet. Okay. This needs here. Needs to be smaller. Not full screen. Okay. Okay, perfect. So let me switch to the other view and I'll come also join you in webcam so you will also be able to see me. Okay. People should be able to see you now.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to the release party. Let's see. I didn't want to bring in my personal problems into this. I just wanted to have a nice time for everyone. But I just want to apologize to everyone for how it's going. If you don't know, I kind of got ousted from my home by my landlord, and so I'm kind of in a temporary place here. The internet's not super good, and I just have not had enough time to get all the release notes typed up like I wanted. So we're gonna have a release. We'll have some fun here. 0.7 will come out, and then I'll just have to spend the next week or two doing a little bit of cleanup. A little bit of the stuff I hoped to get done by today, and then we'll do a bug fix release on this one. So that'll be how we clean this up. But that being said, that's just release chores. So all the work that you all did in the community making this release great, it's all there. So let's celebrate what we've done here, and we can have all the the release niceties later.
Right. Okay, so can you see me, Andrew? You should be able to, right?
Yes.
Hello. Okay, so
Nice sweater.
thank you. Just just so you know, I'm streaming basically the Discord call so people can see both of us and stuff like this. Okay, so there's a lot of people here. I guess you already gave some information about what's going on with the release. I would say, well, first of all, oh no, there's still blue screens coming. I don't know. I think I should disable them. People are being too trigger happy with those right now. Okay, let's get rid of. Sorry guys, let's get rid of the blue screens. Disabled. Okay. So we were saying. Yeah, so the release is coming, but oh, thank you, Soyrad, for the gifted subs. Oh man. By the way, Andrew, if you see anything in chat that you want to reply to, feel free, right? Like.
Oh yeah. Okay, so I already messed up because the CI failed the release tag.
Yeah.
I added a new place that I have to update the version number in build.zig, and I forgot to do it. So I'm already kicking myself. You know what though? It's fine though, because that number only matters when you're basically when you're building from a source checkout, and you're not doing the stage 1. So that's kind of like for the future thing. So we'll just fix that in 0.7.1. It'll be fine. It's not going to cause any actual problems in this release.
Yeah, and by the way, on that same note, I think I added another place where release tags are mentioned in the website configuration. So once we update the website, I guess there's going to be yet another place with that.
Yeah.
Well,
we'll have to try to start automating some of this stuff.
Yeah. I think that like, yeah, there's these machines that can automate stuff. We need to find somebody that knows how to use them. Yeah.
You know, it's tricky though. So let me tell you what the process is that I'm going through right now. Because I started trying to automate it a little bit, but actually I can't. So I have to upload all the tarballs, right? And if you look at the previous release, it's what is it? There's a source one, there's a Bootstrap source one, there's a FreeBSD, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different Linux tarballs, Mac OS, 2 different Windows tarballs.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, how do you automate that? Because yeah, I could, like the Linux ones, I can do all those in the same machine. The source checkout ones, yeah, I can do those in the same machine. But like, I literally rent a $200 a month server to do the FreeBSD tarballs in order to create it. Like right now, I'm just like, hurry up and do it, so I only have to pay like $1, you know, for the FreeBSD server.
Mm-hmm.
And then like I have my Mac OS over here running the other tarball. So I don't know. It's like there's physical hand movements I have to do in order to do this stuff. So it's tricky to automate, but it's all good. It's all worth it.
Yeah. So I think there was a mention from Light Under. So there's gonna be a .1 patch this time. I guess so. I guess we better start get used to patch releases, right?
Yeah, it's just we just had too many, you know, kind of like late stage bugs, little regressions, too late to the release. So I think this will be okay. You know, like go ahead and use 0.7 and see how it works for you, and just know that I think we'll have just like maybe in a week, maybe 2 weeks, maybe 3, just fix all the little bugs that are preventing you from just like doing what you already could do before and you can't anymore. So
yeah, so we're getting there. I mean, until now, Zig releases have been like tied to LLVM, right? So they were never meant to be a major thing. I think for the people watching, like if you're somebody that's watching the stream and you've not used Zig much, you're kind of supposed to be using master right now. Like 0.6 is what, 6 months old by now? More. Even.
Yep.
Yeah. So until now, the like all the releases were there just to show that there is some progress happening and fix them to and like tie them to a new release of LLVM. But I guess 0.7 is going to be hopefully maybe the last release done entirely in this fashion, because the idea is that once we have the self-hosted compiler, then we'll have better reason to do minor like patch releases, and allow people to enjoy a little bit of stability, not too much, just a little bit.
Yeah, I think this was actually your idea, and it was a great idea, which is that we'll provide bug stability but not feature stability.
Yep. Yeah. So the idea is that if you are relying on something on a particular feature that should not break, we can give you that assurance. But at the same time, we need to keep the option of messing around with APIs in case there's a need for that.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. So the idea is also that today we say, actually, let's say yesterday we were saying that Zig wasn't ready in production, and we plan tomorrow. So in the past we said that it wasn't ready. In the future we plan to say, yes, we now have reached the point where you can start considering more and more production use cases, but it's not a binary switch where it's one day it's no, the next day it's yes. Or the point is even not just a technical one, it's also a human one of perception, of letting people know that we are getting there. So the idea is continuity is probably the strongest tool we have in our toolkit as animals in this universe. So the idea is to make a smooth road getting there, where things get gradually there, both in technical terms but also in terms of communication. And the Zig bug stability program is an attempt in that regard to make sure people understand these ideas, because it turns out it's hard. Attention has become the rarest resource on earth, and we have to fight for attention with everybody. And even then, ideas are hard to explain, especially when you are bringing new ones to the table. So basically, the idea is to try and do what we can in explaining ourselves, considering we don't have huge marketing budgets to bombard you with the usual stuff.
Yeah. By the way, in this release, we've seen, like, if I'm just comparing to the last one here. So last one was 122 different contributors, and this one is 187 different contributors.
Ooh, nice.
So we're still seeing that curve of new people interested in Zig just shooting up, which is great.
Awesome.
So that's why this release party is a celebration of what everyone has done, and not just us two just like trying to preaching or something.
Andrew, for the investors watching from home, would you characterize that curve as a hockey stick?
To the people watching from home who are venture capitalists, fuck you.
No, come on. We still like you, especially if you give us money for free.
Wait, they don't do that though. That's the definition of a venture capitalist.
I don't know. It's but so yeah, I think Andrew brought up
I just made Loris's job like 10 times harder by saying that. I'm sorry.
So we have to what was I about to say? Oh yeah, that Andrew brought up a good point, which is really the point of today's party, and I guess what really makes it a party, even though it's just us chatting right now. And by the way, we're gonna start bringing people in. Actually, let me say this first so that people can get prepared. I wrote this already in the Discord, in the Showtime Discord server, but to reiterate, we're gonna have people come in and tell us something, ask a question, show us something that they want to show. Members of the Zig community, maybe they're working on a project. Usually we have full-fledged talks, right, on Showtime, but today I'm just gonna give you a couple of minutes, maybe up to 5, to show us whatever you want to show us. And after that, and we're gonna bring more people in. So the idea is that you need to be in the Zig Showtime Discord server, join the waiting room. When we are in, keep watching the stream, but when we are ready to pull you in, I'll send you a direct message on Discord asking you if you're ready. At that point, you should mute the stream, because otherwise, once I pull you into the channel, you'll get super confused by hearing our voices twice with a temporal delay, and that doesn't work well with the human brain. You don't have a monadic understanding of sound, so you won't be able to lazy evaluate everything correctly. So I pull you in and you show us something, and then we say goodbye and we bring somebody else. So for the people that want to try this, get ready. If you need an invite to the Showtime Discord server, you can find it on GitHub, or if somebody can also link it in chat, that would be nice, please. That said, going back to the party idea, one thing that I wanted to say is that I don't know about the people watching right now, but I personally have been somebody that has never, I've never been really moved by projects like this. I mean, I have an appreciation for open source, like I think everybody. I think we all understand that there is some beauty in the open source idea, some flaws, of course, also. But the basic idea of wanting to share ideas and your work with other people for free, but not just for free, like with a capital F, that's nice. That said, I have to say I've personally never been super invested personally in a project. Now, today I am invested, I guess, also not just emotionally, but also professionally speaking, I guess. But before that, I remember when it was just a normal donor and just a normal Zig user trying to do my stuff with Zig. And I have to say, I say this as a skeptic. If you read the newsletter, I also was pointing at this point of view because I think there are, well, this is a point of view that I know because that's me. But I think there are a lot of skeptics out there, and I think we are in times where society has become complicated, and the way it works, being a skeptic tends to be maybe the lazy thing to do more often than not the wrong thing to do, and yet. I really think we should appreciate what's happening here. It's not, we should not take it for granted. Andrew mentioned the number of contributors. That's not a given. That doesn't happen automatically. And I think we should maybe primarily thank Andrew for his work because I've seen him do a lot of work in interacting with the community. And actually, this brings me back to so I mentioned that I don't get moved by projects, and actually, so I have to admit, I remember sending an email to Andrew after trying Zig. I've never done that before, but I liked it so much, and I sent him a weird email where I basically said, I was really surprised by Zig. I think the last time I was this excited by a language was when I learned Common Lisp. And I kind of tried to convince him that Zig had Lisp-like features or something. I don't remember. I wrote something like this.
I'm searching for
it. But the thing is, this stuff doesn't happen automatically. So thank you, everyone, for watching and for being invested in what's happening with Zig, because that's really what makes the difference between succeeding and failing. Like the good technical things can only come from a base where people want the project to succeed. If you don't want the project to succeed, then everything falls apart for so many reasons. And so, yeah, that's something real. As I said, I don't have an extensive experience when it comes to open source software, but prior to joining the Zig Software Foundation, I worked at Redis Labs, and I was involved to some degree, or at least I could observe what happened with the open source development of Redis, which is another very successful open source project used by, I think, almost everybody. And again, even though Redis has always is super successful, you can see that you can look at the repository, you can see that the issues are piling up. You can see that there have always been, I guess, issues in terms of governance with the project, which is not unique to Redis, by the way. I'm not saying this to shit on Redis in any way, actually. But these are real, super hard problems, much harder than getting memory allocation right. And finding solutions to these problems, again, requires not just one person having the right mind, but a lot of people coming together and doing things together. So again, thank you, everyone. 180 contributors. That's awesome. That's non-trivial at all. And as the size of the project increases, it will become increasingly harder for people to get into it, right? Because you are faced with a bigger amount of code and much more things that have been already settled. So that's awesome. And last thing that I'll say, then Andrew, please take over. I probably spoke already too much, but code is only one thing. There has been this is a thank you even more personal from me personally. There have been also a lot of support from people that have spoke at Zig SHOWTIME, and I've seen a lot of people, and maybe begged is not the right word, but close to that. I got close to that. I asked people, Benjamin, for example, who was the first speaker and who I also annoyed about speaking again and again, to produce more Zig content. And there have been blog posts, there have been a lot of things that people did that are not technical work, but which is still extremely valuable. To some degree, some of the non-technical work when done at the right moment, in the right way, can even be more valuable than the technical one. Because again, you need, without donors, I wouldn't be able to be here. Without people contributing their ideas, I'm sure Andrew has a long list of situations where people have contributed good ideas, but that technical contribution came from somebody noticing Zig, from somebody reading about Zig and getting excited. And explaining Zig is not easy. So thank you also to everyone that has done this kind of work, because that's amazing help. Andrew, do you want to add anything?
Yeah. I was just digging through my email and I found the one that you originally sent me. It's really sweet. And you also, by the way, offered to buy me a beer if I dropped by Milano.
Oh,
so
yeah.
I hope you're still ready to take to offer that.
Yeah.
You also correctly guessed that because I was an American, I wouldn't know where Milano was. So you noted Northern Italy. It's like thanks for that little geography clue there.
No worries. Honestly, well, I don't know where I don't know where 90% of the big American cities are. So
fair. Another update is Jakub just pinged me, and he has done the tarball for Mac OS ARM. So we
nice.
actually are going to have an ARM Mac OS tarball for this release, thanks to Jakub.
Awesome. Thank you,
Well,
Jacob.
when do we get to start seeing some of the fun little, people's little segments here?
I'm ready. I am really ready.
I'm ready.
I am. So let's have people come in. So there's Eleanor. I think that has been in the working room for a while now. So we should definitely ask her to come. Let me send a message.
Am I going to stay in the video chat, or what do I do?
You can say in video chat. Sure. Hi, Eleanor.
Okay.
Are you ready to come on stream? Let me know when you muted the.
Let's see.
Let's see.
It also would be neat. One thing, if people haven't prepared, but they want to,
Oh yeah, just come in and say something. Yeah,
come in.
I said.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, I was going to say one thing that they could do is if you contributed anything during this release cycle, just come on in and talk about it. Just say like what you did.
Yep.
Take credit. Get some spotlight. You earned it, right?
Yep. Okay, so let's have Eleanor. Hello. Hi, Eleanor.
Hello. Hello. Hi. Let me just see if I can share my screen. I've never done that before, so.
No problem. We're here waiting for you. Okay, let's see. Watch stream.
Okay. Is that showing up?
Yes, it is. Wait, it's still loading though.
Hang on. I suppose I should turn off push to talk. It's interfering with some things.
Yeah. Also, I don't seem to be able to see your screen share. I see that you are sharing something, but it's showing me like the loading animation. Can you try to like do it again, like remove screen sharing and re-enable it? Maybe it will work.
Have you tried turning it off and turning it back on again?
Yeah, computers are so hard. Oh, I think we lost Eleanor. Okay. Why did we lose Eleanor? But Discord is still showing me this. I guess in case she returns. Okay, let's see. Hi, Eleanor. Back on stream.
Sorry, I don't know what happened there. I dropped out.
Okay, let's see. Maybe this time it will work. Yeah, it's because it's not written in Zig. That's why it's buggy. Okay, yes, it's working. We can see.
Okay, so
I'm seeing your browser more specifically.
So this is well, it's not really finished, but it's an idea that I've had, and I'm in the process of writing down. So this was born out of the proposal that I posted recently for a Zig compiler bootstrapped completely from the ground up from assembly. And upon thinking about it a bit more, doing it right with all of the necessary details is a much bigger undertaking than initially thought. And so it does deserve to be its own project.
Eleanor, I gotta interrupt you. I'm sorry. We're seeing the picture is reversed.
Yeah, it's my fault. 1 second.
Is it Laurie's? Okay.
Okay, I'm fixing
Sorry,
it.
I just don't want it to undermine because you're about to tell us an actually good idea, but then it looks backwards, so it just seems silly.
Now it's fine for everybody. I apologize.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Okay,
good. So the idea, I suppose, is a similar motivation to Zig itself. Just going back to the beginning and actually getting things right. Because the way it is, especially with low-level software, people do something that makes sense at the time. But then someone else does it, and they expect everything to work exactly like that. So then they're locked into those decisions forever. So Vertex, the idea is to go right back to the beginning, to reset everything. So what I have here currently is so currently I've written up specifications for the object format. That's tabs and decks, and the assembler is base, the linker, which is mixer, and the shell, which is fret. So I suppose I'll show you the object format first. So the idea is that, well, firstly, it's the idea of modules, that namespace symbols, embedded into the binary from the very beginning. Because otherwise what you get is just, people just prefixing symbols with names. It's just a mess. So an object file expects modules. It expects the linker to provide modules, and then it imports specific symbols from those modules. And it's all laid out here.
Jacob, by the way, I hope that Jacob is taking notes, because I guess once this becomes real, he'll have to write the linker for it in the supposed compiler.
Yeah. I'm not familiar with the incremental linking architecture, so I've not designed to make that easy explicitly. But I don't suspect it will be much harder than the current paradigm, but I might be embedding some horrible assumptions. So the idea is that Mixer, the linker, it doesn't actually do any relocations. Like all of the filling in of all the details in the code is done by the loader. So that way you don't have static addresses that can jump to random points in memory and corrupt things. It is decided that you'll be able to just take the sections, just take what's in the sections and not divide them up at all and not change their length and just put them into either other sections if you're the linker or program memory if you're the loader. And you shouldn't have to change the code in any way. So what this does is it's designing to encourage things like ASLR from the beginning.
What's ASLR?
Address space layout randomization. That's where you put different parts of program memory at random places every time you load it.
Okay.
So program can't do things like overflow the stack and rewrite an return address so that it will jump to malicious code.
Yeah. I have a question, Eleanor. It's a very general question, actually, just out of curiosity. But what is making it interesting for you? Rethinking all these low-level stuff. Like, do you know why you like doing this? I don't know why I do like all the things that I do, but I was curious about if there was a reason that you are aware of.
Yeah, I suppose my primary interest isn't really in creating things; it's in understanding things, and so I'm more drawn to the low-level things. So when I look at low-level software, the interface from the machine to higher-level things, it's just so frustrating because it embeds all of these assumptions and all of this legacy. So I'm just wondering, if we knew where we were going, how could we do that? It's more so that I want this system to exist more than I want to create it, if that makes sense.
Yeah, boy, wouldn't it be nice? Like, I would have loved it if Zig just existed and I didn't have to create it. That would have been great. So much work.
Oh yes, we'd all love that, wouldn't we?
Well, you know how it works, right? You say, "Mom, I want Zig," and then Mom says, "Well, we have Zig at home." Then you get home and you have C++. Please don't hate me, C++ people in the chat.
Yeah. So the piece I'm currently working on is Fret, which is the shell, and I have some interesting ideas for this, but the idea is that Vertex is going to be based on a capability-based microkernel. So I think that would actually simplify a lot of things. Like it says here, you can just provide the resources to the shell that it needs, and then the idea for the shell specifically is that it will actually pass the arguments, and then fetch the resources and hand them over as capabilities to the process. With current shells, you just pass the arguments as strings, and you have to permute them yourself, which is I don't think that's a great solution. Yeah, and all this is planned to be. I'm not sure if I'm going to write it in Zig or in a simplified version of Zig, because again, the idea is to be able to bootstrap the whole thing from assembly. So this component, the assembler, is designed to be implementable in assembly, which is quite an undertaking. So it makes I make heavier use of sigils than most assemblers, I suppose. And something I've noticed about the design of Zig is that it does assume a fairly sophisticated compiler, which that's fair. You can do that in the modern day. But things like double slashes for comments, I was just thinking about that. That's going to be a bit annoying because currently in the assembler, comments are a single character. There's the hash. So you hit a hash and you can ignore the rest of the line. In Zig, you look at a slash. Okay, is that going to be is that dividing or is that dividing and equal? Is that various other things that the slash can mean? So you have to look ahead another character and then ignore this one and the one before it and the rest of the line. So
Eleanor, can I ask you a question?
Yes.
Wait, is this part of your plan to be able to bootstrap like you make a fresh operating system that's not even POSIX compatible? It's just like brand new hardware or something, and then you're trying to get up and running. You're trying to get any software running on it at all just by typing in the keyboard. Is that what this project is?
Well,
yeah,
not really. It makes some. Well, machines nowadays don't have switches on the front that you can program with, so you don't actually need an external machine to program things. So it's not going to be like stage 0, where the idea is that the system is going to be implemented in itself, starting from like a minimal hex editor. Because what happens then is you design for a system that can be implemented with as few components as possible, so you don't divide up priorities as evenly as you could. So the idea is that the system, like individual components of the system, shouldn't be able to run without the system itself. They might, but that's not a priority. But the system itself should run with no binary root of trust. Like you should be able to just take the source of the assembly and hand assemble it, and then use that to assemble the chord minor compiler, which builds the chord major compiler, which builds the rest of the components.
Sounds neat.
Yeah. So just give me 5 to 10 years, and maybe I'll have something to show for it.
There is one thing about it, though. I noticed, though, which is that it has tabs.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
I mean, it is important, I think, to be able to recognize white space. There are people who have made arguments for tabs instead of space, and I support those, but it's not really, it's not for those. The idea is that as much of the complex software as possible needs to be implemented on the machine. So you should be able to interface it with the dumbest of dumb terminals. So specifically with new lines, returning the cursor to the start of the line and then moving down to the next line are actually 2 separate operations. So in this context, it does make sense to have Windows-style line endings. And so
I was just making a pun based on TAB in the description.
Oh, okay. Okay, I take your meaning now.
This is cool. Do you think you're going to end up working on it? Or just kind of like make the idea and then just be like, yeah, it's a good idea. I'll just put that on the shelf.
Well, I certainly hope so. I have sitting on my desk beside me, I have an Odroid N2 Plus, a guide for ARM assembly programming, and coming also, hopefully within the next few days, is linkers and loaders. So nice. I have collected resources for the project, and this seems to be a thing that I might actually do.
Cool. Well, Eleanor, I see we have some other people who want to share too. Do you want to maybe say some words to wrap up and then share the floor?
Yes, certainly. Lay rigidly, ice freely, and also, sorry, I didn't write a script. Just keep doing cool things, okay?
Are you talking to me?
Yes. You,
are you talking to the
and also
audience?
Other people.
Nice. Okay.
Talking to all people.
So kind of like a Bill and Ted sort of be excellent to each other sort of
yes, be most
vibe.
Excellent to each other. Yes.
Nice. Love it.
Awesome. Eleanor, by the way, since you've done your debut on stream, I won't say I expect you to give a talk in the near future, but if you ever happen to want to do it, let me know. I'll happy to host you. Okay?
At least let me finish the spec first, and then yeah, that sounds good. I'd
Okay.
like to do that.
Awesome. Thank you very much then.
Thanks, Eleanor.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so let's see. Let's move Eleanor back. Let's see who should be next. Oh, there's a lot of people. So, Andrew, you pick. Who should we pull in next?
Let's see. Oh, I get to. Oh, in the waiting room. Okay.
Yes.
I want to hear from. I want to hear from Jimmy. I mean, Corey Suma's spaghetti.
Yes, from Christmas Spaghetti. Okay.
Oh, Christmas.
Yes. Yo, ready to be pulled in? Mute the stream! Exclamation mark. Okay. So let's hear it from Christmas Spaghetti. Hello.
Hello, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes, we do.
Yes.
Cool. Let me just give you Japanese lessons, Andrew. It is kurisuma's spaghetti. Excuse me.
I'm sorry.
It's not Japanese. I'm just whatever. I'm a weeb. Who cares? Who cares about all that like low-level stuff? I thought instead of having all this technical stuff, I thought we just play some Pokemon. How about that? That sounds interesting.
Oh,
Yes.
let's go.
Am I sharing screen?
Yes, you are.
Am I sharing my? Yes, this is a little scuffed setup, but and this will be live. I have no idea if it'll work. Hello. All right, cool. So hi, I have a project that is a Pokemon modification tool, but you do it in the terminal, and you might be asking who the fuck would do that, and the answer is me. So leave me alone. Right, so we have a Pokemon Black 2 ROM running on the right. I have a Tepig. It's a fire type, nothing special. But I want to change that because I don't want my Tepig to be a fire type. That's boring. All right, so let me see here. So let's first look at some of the tools I have here. So the project is called Metronome. Metronome is a move-in Pokemon that picks a random move. It makes sense that this project is called Metronome because the goal is to randomize Pokemon games. Great name. Who cares? And the TM35 is just Pokemon has what's called technical machines. There are moves, and in the first generation Pokemon, Metronome was TM35. So that's a good shorthand. All right, cool. So we have this program called TM35 load. What it can do is it can take a ROM as an input and it can output a bunch of random information. That's very cool. But you might be asking, what can we do with all that? Well, because it's a line format, we can just grab them. So let's see. Let's find Tepig here. Oh look, Tepig is Pokemon number 498. Cool. So now that we know that, we can do a few things. So let's try to just get this. I think we can do this here. Yeah, cool. So now we know everything about Tepig. We know the moves it learns. We know the abilities it has. We know the items it can hold while it is in a wild thing. We know the stats it have. We know which Pokedex entry. We know everything. Very nice. So we wanted to change the type. So we can see here that it has two type fields, type 0 and type 1. And they're both 9. That must, we will assume here that, of course, the 9 must be the fire type. We can check that is true. So if we do types here, we don't want to do a fixed string search like that. Let's see what we have. Yeah, so we can see 9 here is fire type. So let's change it to something else. Let's make our Tepig, a ghost steel type. That sounds interesting, right? So that's 7 and 8. Cool beans. So now that we know all this information, we have another program to actually modify ROMs with this information, which is called apply instead. And what you basically just do is you take the format that that the program provides you, the load program, and you just pipe it into the apply program. So let's say that the first type will be, did I say Ghost Steel? I think I did.
Yes.
Ghost Steel.
Yeah. So let's make it a Ghost type there and a Steel type there. And hopefully this works because I haven't tested. I even had to revert a commit because I broke something. Apparently, I didn't even know I did that.
You need types 1, right? Second one.
Yeah, you're right, but it said something. Cannot create the ROM because the password. Right, of course, we need to replace it. There you go. It takes a little while because of the debug builds. I've been trying to make it faster, but the commit that did that broke everything, so I had to revert it. All right, cool. So now we have that ROM. So let's open it. It is called Pokemon Black 2 Modified here. Let's see if it works.
But then you're still loading the same save file?
Yes. The emulator knows what save files are associated with a file. It works. The games only save like what's necessary. They don't save like everything, right? So it tends to work.
Nice.
Except when it doesn't. Most of the time it works. All right, cool. We're back in the save file, and now we have, hopefully, if I didn't mess up here, we have a topic with Ghost Steel type. Very interesting.
Oh
Very
yeah.
Nice.
So the interesting thing about this project is like it's supposed to be like extensible like Pokemon editing to like so people can do whatever they want in whatever language they want, and they don't have to know how things are stored in the ROMs, right? So this tool works for generation 3, 4, and 5 right now. So that's Emerald, Ruby, Sapphire, Diamond, Pearl, Platinum, Heart Gold, Soul Silver, Black and White, and Black and White 2. So far. I haven't worked too much on it recently. And the idea kind of is that you take like you construct a pipeline of what you kind of want to edit in the ROM. So this project ships with a few programs that can go into your pipeline. So let's say we load here. We load our Pokemon Black 2, and we can pipe it through another program. So cache bin TM35, and there are a few things. We can randomize the wild Pokemons, the stats, the static Pokemons. We can randomize the starters, learned moves. We can randomize everything, and it all goes through a pipeline of steps, the Unix pipeline and stuff like that. It's been quite powerful.
Super cool.
Yeah, it's been quite powerful and really interesting. You can do a lot of stuff doing it this way, and people can really just So let's say we wanted to randomize wild Pokemon. You literally just rand wild, and you just put it back into the apply here, apply on the ROM, and do the replace. Run it. It says a few warnings. I don't know why this is. I'll need to figure that out. Okay. Yeah, so now we have a ROM with random wild Pokemon. We don't have time to show that. Trust me, it works. And the idea is, if we go into another repository here, there's a lot of things. I have this little repository showing that you can just kind of, write a section of a pipeline in whatever language you want. So we have a C program here that can randomize starters, main.c, that's just this, quite simple. But we can also do it in Haskell, and that was me trying to learn Haskell. It's an awful Haskell program because I don't know functional programming, but it does the same thing as C program. And so, you have all the power you could ever need, hopefully. And I'm trying to get back into working on it more. But right now I'll have to update all the code to work with 0.7 because this is all compiled on the 0.6. Yes.
Hey, I don't want to put you too much on the spot, but I know there's a question that everyone's thinking, which is, when is your non-compete agreement end?
It ends, let me see, so 1.5 years from when I left, which was 4 months ago. So yeah, still a little bit of time.
A little bit over a year. Okay.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, fair enough. That was super cool.
Yeah, that was awesome. So I have also one final question. Since you outed yourself as a weeb.
Okay, here we go.
So what's your favorite anime?
Oh, fuck. Shit. Oh, no. Okay, I don't know anymore. That was a point when I knew, but I don't know anymore. I don't watch this most anime anymore either. So I'll just pick the one that was at some point for a long while my favorite.
Fair enough. And actually, what you just said, I think that's the true mark of somebody who watches too much anime. But yes, please continue.
Basically, yes. So the anime is called Little Busters. It's about a group of friends who literally just fuck around for a season, and then the next season you figure out, wait, they were not just fucking around. It was basically a dream, and some of the friends has been trying to have the other friends kind of grow up because they basically did in the real world, and it was very interesting. I like it. It's not holding up anymore if I watch it again, but it was very, very fun to watch the first time. So there you go.
Awesome.
Nice.
Thank you very much.
One more
Yeah.
thing before you go. Pick a random number between 0 and 3 and 5 inclusive.
I hope you shuffle my number around because otherwise I can just pick whatever person I want here. I'll pick 4.
4?
Yep.
2, 3, 4. Okay, red line's next.
Alright,
Okay, thank you very much.
no problem.
So message. Actually, wait.
I guess I'm just leaving. Goodbye.
Yep.
Woo.
Okay, red line. Hello. Ready to join? Move the stream first. Ah,
I actually was just gonna have him pick the next person, but I thought he didn't have access to the. Oh, everyone in the waiting room, of course, can see everyone else, right?
yes.
Okay, yeah. Yeah.
Okay, red line is typing. Okay, red line has questions. That's perfectly fine. Sure. No problem.
Okay, I'm gonna take advantage of this tiny break to check on my tarballs.
Okay. Okay. Hello, Redline. By the way, you are muted, just so you know.
Okay, is that better?
Yeah, that's perfect. Hello.
Thank you guys, I guess, first for having me on here at all. Like, this is really cool and really nice of you guys to both like take time to do this. Yeah, so I guess my first I mostly have questions as opposed to just like gushing about how cool this language is. But my initial question is that like for just as like a selling point of the Zig language, how would you guys consider like appealing to the people who have, I would say, like kind of almost Stockholm syndrome of C++, where like you have, you know, I feel like you have the guts of a really good language in there, and then you have all this stuff that they added on top, which kind of turns the whole thing into a nightmare to deal with, whether it's like compiling or dealing with template errors or whatever. But like, I mean, because like I'm getting ready probably at the end of this call to shift the project over to Zig from C++, and you know, just because of how like, God, I just want a standard library that works, honestly. So I'm really curious to hear how you guys would like kind of appeal to that crowd. And yeah,
I'll take this one. Welcome, by the way. It's nice to have you on the show. Thanks for you know, putting yourself out there. Okay, so here's the plan. Most people, I'm going to make a claim. Most people who use C++, they do it out of practicality, right? It's like, this is the thing that's going to get the job done, so it's what I'm going to use. They don't really have a choice. If they had a choice, they'd pick any other language. So to get those people, all we got to do is make Zig the most practical option. So those, like, I don't even feel the need to try to convince people who use C++. All you got to do is put all the, you know, building blocks and forces in play, and then all of a sudden they're just going to be using Zig and be like, oh wait, what happened? Oh wow, this feels a lot better.
Oh no. Now I have to move everything over to Zig now. So like, I fell like right into that archetype. That's horrifying. Like,
wait, is that what happened?
Yeah, no, it's just like it's turning into
Wait,
it's turning into like kind of a disaster of like just trying to get meta programming to work well with C++. Like that doesn't include like, you know, just mashing templates on top of templates, right? Just like I want this to happen at compile time. Like I feel like I can just hear CMake laughing at me. Like it's like, oh, is that what you want? Like I could just hear the software like laughing at my demands. I'm just like, hey, how about I just want to know what the biggest, you know, what the max size of this array is going to be, which is totally like you can pre-compute everything, right? Like you could pre-compute half your program and then deliver a far better experience to the users. And it's like you're having to fight against Barney Starsoup's decisions of like how much stuff he wants to add into C++, and like how little of that is what I would describe as like actually usable or shippable in a lot of ways. So yeah, I guess I don't really have any other things other than just saying I'm really happy you guys are doing what you're doing. I'm really beyond excited for the, wink, wink, this is kind of stable release of Zig where we can
there.
finally, yeah. But no, I mean, I'm just glad to hear that, like, the overall sort of appeal is just, there for C++ programmers. So thank you guys, really.
No problem.
Thanks
By
for
the way,
kind words.
Redline, you came in saying that you were not going to gush on the language, and here we are.
Oh, damn it. I had a plan going into this. I didn't stick to my own plan. All right. But yeah, no. I mean, it's tough not to, really. It's like once you see a lot of I don't know. It's like finding out that there's a better way to, like, drive on the road other than, a wooden bicycle is, as I would describe C++. Like, but yeah, no. Anyway, thank you guys. No, really.
Well, thanks for the kind words. Thanks for stopping by.
Yeah, thank you very much. And if you want to share some more opinions or like your point of view, feel free to jump in any of the Discord servers, IRC or Reddit, whatever. We are looking forward to, hear more people say what their experience is using Zig.
Yeah, no, we'll do. Thank you guys.
Okay. Bye-bye.
All right, I'm getting a strong vibe from the chat, from the Twitch chat, that we need Proddy on here next.
We need Proddy.
We need King. Yeah.
Okay. Let's pull Proddy in then. Message. Ready? Mute the screen. Oh, by the way, I just noticed that a bunch of people were writing to me that the stream is mirrored. Sorry, people. I was just trying to make my freaking thing.
Oh, is that what you were doing?
Yeah, because I bought a Jeeds one. Like, it looks like I bought a Jeeds pullover instead of a Zig one. It's not fun, and Discord doesn't allow me to flip my preview because it's flipping it for me. But like, no, I don't want a Jeeds thing on me anyway.
Just trying to cover up your jizz.
Okay, let's pull King. Hey, King. King, you're muted, by the way, if you don't know. Okay.
Oh, yep.
Hey.
Hello. That happens. Can you hear me correctly?
Yes, we can hear you.
Alrighty. I will share my screen.
I'm excited for this one.
Yeah, I'm already excited.
I want to, like, just talking about it in chat. Like, what did I do? Anyway.
By the way, King, feel free to complain about, the standard library or whatever as much as you want. So you got my blessing as far as I'm concerned.
Like, my plan is to just effectively scrap every usage of the standard library for Zig. So, like, I'm starting to rewrite everything at this point. So in my current experimentation for Zap, I rewrote the atomic accesses, I rewrote the spin loop hints, rewrote fencing, rewrote locking, rewrote synchronization primitives, rewrote, what else did I do? Reset event, mutex, I'm about to rewrite thread. Like, I'm just starting from pure scratch, only with built-in, and then not with SCD to see how far I can get.
Nice. It's basically like the Zig project, but like again.
Zig project, but again.
But faster.
This time,
you can say it, King.
Yeah.
Okay. Faster.
Yeah, the main goal of Zap was basically, there's an event loop. It works. I like making stuff fast. Let's make it fast. And so I tried to for like a year. I'm currently on, like, you can see all the experiments I have over here. This is just one branch. I also have a bunch of other branches. I also have an older branch which contains all the other branches that I purged, each with their own all their own stuff in it. So I've been trying to solve this problem for a while, and I think I'm at a steady point
Nice.
in the standard branch, which is a lock-free, allocation-free, general-purpose task scheduler that should be compatible with C as well.
Whoa.
Yeah, I'm trying to fit everything into one. Also thinking of doing local thread priorities, so priority-based scheduling as well as thread local scheduling or affinity, so you can bind a task to a specific thread, and also do my nodes. Like I have a lot of stuff planned for it, I/O timers, whatever. But
King, when you say allocation free, you mean as in the entire event loop doesn't require an allocator, right?
yep, the only allocation that happens is the allocation for the thread stack when it spawns a new thread. Other than that, everything else, there's no allocators. Everything is intrusively provided. So like, you pass the task in, you pass the worker in, you pass everything in basically. And so in the examples, I have some examples of the usage of Zap, and you can see that it's basically almost all just stack allocation. And then the only heap allocation is for the frames because there's a lot of them. They won't fit on stack. But if they could fit on stack, you could put them there. So I like the freedom Zig provides you, because in Rust you can't do this because it would be unsafe to do so, or you can't do it in a safe way. And so, like writing in Zig, it's like lets you do a lot more, or lets you structure your code a lot more resource efficient than other languages. And so, I have some demo. Or do you have anything to say?
Yeah, we can see it on the stream.
Yep.
So let me try running. So this is what. Let's just do the first one. You can zoom in here. So I have like a few benchmarks. One benchmarks mutexes. Another benchmarks sending a channel or sending something from a channel to another task and back. Another just benchmarks spawning tasks in general, like spawning goroutines. And then the last one is just like yielding in the loop a bunch of goroutines or a bunch of tasks. And so let's try the most fair one would be the spawn, which is just spawning tasks. And this basically just benchmarks this scheduler itself rather than anything else. Or I also benchmarks memory allocator, but regardless. So Go is okay. Like, it's probably what you expect from spawning, how many is that? 100,000 tasks? So yeah, 100,000. Actually, not a million, because it's doing 100,000 on 10 goroutines. So that's decently fast. There's also Rest, which you can expect to be decently fast too, because I think this is using Tokyo, and Tokyo is based on some of the same runtime or run queue implementations as Golang. So
is smaller better?
Similar. Yes, I forgot to explain. This just means how long it takes to run the actual executable. So yeah, smaller is better. In all of these actually. Smaller would be better here. Smaller would also be better here. Yeah, smaller is better everywhere here. So
Am I reading this correctly? It seems that Go is doing better than Rust.
Slightly for this benchmark.
Mm-hmm.
If we do the Pong one, I can do that later, or I can do it now.
Did you say that's Tokyo, the Rust one just now? Or
Yes, I haven't
it's Tokyo.
tried
Okay.
async STD. I assume it's probably going to be the same. I think they use the similar internal code for their thing.
King, feel free to continue with what you were showcasing. Like with the spawn test, I think.
Oh, yeah, I forgot. I was going to which one was showcasing?
Yeah, you're leaving us hanging over here. What about the Zig one?
Yeah.
Okay. So with release fast, or release safe, because that's a much fairer comparison, it performs, I guess, decently well.
Well,
Okay.
that's really safe?
That's really safe. Release fast. I've done some optimizations to make it so that release
Decently
safe is
well.
like.
Sorry.
Yeah, release safe is like it should be as fast as release fast. But this is just a scheduler, so I'm trying to keep as minimum overhead as possible.
You got
for,
you got a lot of people in the chat being pretty
Oh,
fanning over you right now.
yeah, I just realized I ran the wrong benchmark. That's the yield one. Let me run the spawn one. That was the others.
Oh, there we
Oh.
go. Okay.
Now it's
I
slower.
mean, it still should be decently fast.
Oh no, okay.
Oh my God,
It's
it's
faster.
faster.
Okay.
You ran the wrong benchmark and it makes it slower.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Okay, that's so funny.
So
If
like,
you were you didn't even do that on purpose, right? But like if you
No,
were
that
just
was
like
on
doing a show right now and you just like pretended to run the wrong benchmark and then did the right one, like that would have been, that would have been a move, a bold move.
Right.
Sorry, that's release fast. Can you try
This is
it?
really safe.
Sorry, release safe. Can you try release fast?
Sure, but
Is it gonna crash?
I think I've done some, like, the algorithm itself, oh yeah, it's not exe, it's like build. The algorithm itself is lock-free, and so most of the overhead comes from the OS and not the code.
Okay.
So if I run it under release fast, it should slightly faster, but not as much because
Okay.
the algorithm itself is what is fast here, which is like
I see. So you could
the
say
best
it's almost, maybe for some cases, it's not even worth it.
Yeah. So the penalty, actually, we would better say that the penalty of using release safe is not as much compared to like other task schedulers.
Okay, King. One question: Are you satisfied with this architecture, or it's still too
if you
slow
asked
for
me
you?
that like 5 months ago, I would say yes. Right now, I don't think I can get any faster. Like,
Nice.
I've removed almost all locks. I've merged everything blocking into one idle queue that's accessed in a lock-free manner. I'm using wait-free queues. I did quite deep profiling, and so I think I'm satisfied with this. If I want to change it, I'd have to have a pretty big reason to, but yeah, I started working on the master branch, which is just taking all of this code and then commenting it and then cleaning it up. Because this is all just experimentation. So I want it to be like proper once I release it to the world.
Awesome! Wow. Wow. Andrew, anything to say?
Oh, I just want to say that I really appreciate King for being honestly the one person who saw, me saying we need perfect software and him just going, that's what I've been saying.
So I have a question for both of you, since we're here. Unless, King, you want to demo something else. I don't want to steal your time.
You said you were wanting a drawing stream.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yes, we do. Okay, so...
By the way, I'm using a mouse, so anything I draw is going to be all squiggly.
Okay. Wait, should we be dramatic and have King say he'll draw, but then like let someone else go and then bring him back? That's a good show, right? That's how you put on a show.
Yeah, King, are you fine coming back later to do the drawing?
Sure. Depends on when later is.
I don't know, half an hour at worst?
Yeah, probably I can do that.
Okay, but before you leave, I have one question still. For both of you. So, the question is, what should the standard library of Zig look like? What should it prioritize in your opinion?
You want to go first, Andrew?
I'm probably going to just agree with you if you want to go.
So my vision of it is there's a core part, which is everything OS agnostic. And then there's the OS stuff. And then there's the standard library that's built on top of the OS stuff. And so the core stuff would be anything that could work without a standard library, like array list, even mutexes. What else? Probably some IO stuff like the buffers, writers, readers. Just anything algorithm goes in there. Anything OS that the algorithm needs can be abstracted out into the OS layer, and then the standard library can be like good defaults on top of those. So that's probably how I'd structure it.
Yeah,
okay.
Sounds good to me. I mean, I think we're on our way there, but maybe the devil's in the details here.
I haven't kept track of all the. I've only seen the hate letter to OS, and then jumped on that. That's
Gotcha.
about it.
Yeah.
So, what about like performance versus ease of use versus code being more or less complicated in the standard library, like comp time interfaces versus runtime interfaces? We had the changes to reader and writer, right, a while ago. I don't remember how long ago, but it happened at one point in time.
So what I opted to was that I realized the cost of a virtual dispatch in the standard library case is something that you can afford, because standard library isn't generally meant for like the highest performance. It's generally meant for giving you tools to do what you need. So like I think it should focus on convenience, and then have the option in like the core, which would be the more configurable side. And so that you could like have what would be like comp time based interfaces for stuff, because that abstracts already over the async, or it might extract over the OS, so that would be comp time pluggable.
What else? Let me think. No.
We have a question from the chat, which I think is about the benchmark. They're asking, if I understand this question correctly, they're asking about the benchmark you demoed, and they're saying, is this due to platform differences, since Rust seems to be more Linux focused? So I think what they're wondering is the fact that you're running it on Windows and then Rust is Linux focused, is that affecting the benchmark?
So Rust's API is based on POSIX polling, and then Zig's API is based on completion for the async. I don't think that should affect the performance, but just in case, I have a WSL here, which has the same Linux scheduler. So it's since this is mostly OS bound type of task, it should basically act the same as it would if it were to run on Linux. So let me compile that real quick for Linux. We'll probably have another one going for wrong directory. But yeah, if you're curious, so the test systems I've benchmarked it on so far have been Linux 5.6, Windows 10, and for Windows 10 I benchmarked it on a Haswell CPU and a Ryzen 5 Zen Plus. For the Mac, I benchmarked it on a VM, although so it's probably not really a good place to do it, but I try to get as many samples of how it performs differently across everywhere. But I think the thing I've noticed, if there's anything platform related, it would be how the locks are implemented, because that really affects the performance of the scheduler. So like on Linux, the lock implementation is a lot more fair than on Windows. So if you use a lock there, you'll have a worse time and throughput. While on Windows, it's just like anything goes. If you're the first there, then you're first there. And so you can generally have more faster lock performance there. But because the app doesn't use any locks, it doesn't have to rely on that.
Nice.
So let me compile it for Linux. And then we try and go the same thing here, and then do Rust. But I'm not entirely sure how long that was going to take, because
Oh no.
Pretty proc macro heavy.
Proc macro heavy? Wait, what?
Yeah, proc macros are like code that you just run. Just give it Rust source code, and it does its thing.
Yeah.
So there's also tons of dependencies.
Wait, but like, is the like the procedural macros are written by you, or are you depending on code that uses those?
These are all external code. Like
I see.
Tokyo, I think the only dependency I have in here.
Hey, you finished.
Tokyo for the thing, and then these are for the mutexes for the lock benchmark. That was quick. Oh, I already pre-compiled it for Windows. That's
nice.
when we run Let me zoom in here. The benchmarks again. Actually, let me run the Rust one first on Linux. So, forgot it's not Windows. Which one did I build? Spawn. So, yeah, they perform about the same. Then let's try Zig. Do it all right?
Are the
Oh,
slashes
yeah.
on the right? Yeah.
I've been touching way too much Windows. Okay, it's slightly slower on POSIX.
WSL.
WSL, yeah, it's
Oh no,
probably
it's
also
only
custom
what, 3
over
times faster in this case, or less?
about 1, 2, yeah, about 3 times faster.
Okay.
The Go one's probably going to be the same, but the base speed is there, and it's up for experimentation if you want to run it locally.
Okay. Wow.
All right.
Yep.
Last question. Who do you want to high five on the way out?
Let's see. Who's going to be the victim? Iridescent.
All right.
Okay.
You're up.
Thank you very much, King. Looking forward to have you back to some drawing if you want.
All right. See you in like 30 minutes or something.
Okay.
Nice.
So,
See, now we got people hooked because they know
Message.
there's a drawing coming up. That's good storytelling right there.
Thank you, Andrew. Thank you. Yeah, that was a good idea. Okay, iridescence is ready. So, hello. By the way, you're muted.
Oh, that's apparently we're on Hacker News, but that's a bummer because I don't have the release notes done yet. Oh no.
No.
All right. Hello. How are you guys?
Hello.
Hello.
Nice to see you again after the Showtime talk.
Yeah, thank you.
What
Let's
you
share the screen here.
what you got for us?
2 things, I guess. Is that showing up or no?
Yes.
All right. So number one, I think I made my first contribution to Zig, which was a single flag here that says link emit relocks. It's like 7 lines of code and just changes a single LLD linker flag. So that was the one thing. Yeah, used over here. And then the second one is something that I've been working on in Zig, which is a Minecraft server for pretty much it seems to be cross-platform. So far, it's worked on Linux and it's worked on Windows. So that's one thing. Let's try running it here. It's called Craft Server. It's in a testing branch right now, but it's 100% Zig, and it was so nice to write. For example, for the chat, wherever that is. Yeah, so we're going through some server code here, but for a chat packet, it was really nice to go ahead and be able to respond to chat data by literally just creating a chat struct and then like throwing it in and having JSON stringify, just stringify everything. And yeah, let's go ahead and run it here. It's running over here, and it works on Minecraft 1.15.2. So if we go ahead and refresh here, we can say that we got a hello world, and we go ahead and join the world. It actually gets you into this world here. It's pretty nice. I don't know. Right now, you are in the world, and chunks are being sent with valid data, but for some reason, it just sends you flying through the world, which I don't quite understand. Falling, so yeah, that's fun. And there are no commands yet, so until system design. But if you do type and say like hello there, it does go ahead and submit, and it also supports multiple clients connecting. So if I launch like another instance of Minecraft, let's go ahead and join myself with myself. Enter another release.
By the way, I used to be involved in the MC dev community on the client side, not the server side. So I totally know the joy of seeing the empty, even though you're not getting chunks, it's like working at all. And you're like, yes.
Yeah. So there isn't actually a login message, but I can say hello to myself. And it actually shows up across different across different clients. So currently
Nice.
we have a very complicated version of what is essentially a chat server.
Yeah.
But that being said, I'm also handling pretty much everything, and everything it doesn't know spams receives unknown packet and then tells you what type of packet it is. So that's one of the things, but I'll be working more on this and getting it up to date. Especially getting the world to load in, which doesn't quite make sense right now.
People are in chat are saying that they want to switch to it from Discord. They want to switch to your Minecraft chat.
That would be very fun. I was actually thinking about doing something like a very basic chat server because it probably isn't that bad, hopefully, until we get into like having to encrypt user data and stuff like that, though. The no security option for voice messaging with Zig. Everyone out here is about like, oh, it's so safe and secure, and we're just like, no safety, none. All right, so that's all I kind of have to show. So
that was super cool.
That was awesome. So I have one question. Can you please plug in front of everybody your YouTube channel and the thing that you're doing with the PSP community, please?
Okay. If you go to youtube.com/c/iridescence, because I have a custom fancy link, it does.
Nobody can spell that. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. And basically, I do a bunch of stuff with the PSP. We just recently had the game jam, and congratulations to Stackstuff for winning that game jam. I also do tutorials for making PSP programs with C, C++, Rust, and Zig. So
Awesome.
that's going to be pretty fun. And yeah, we just do a lot of cool, fun things on some old hardware.
Awesome. By the way, I think that if if people search on YouTube just Zig PSP, they'll find you. I think.
Yeah,
No?
I think so. I think I'm the only one who has claimed that. Of course, this is going to be biased towards or Zig Showtime. Yeah.
Well, there you go. So that's another way to get to the channel if you can't spell iridescence.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. I think I also show up for PSP Minecraft too. Maybe.
Oh, nope.
No.
Okay.
Nope.
Oh
But
no.
yeah, here's one of my videos down here.
There it is.
I'm number 5, I guess. That's pretty good though. So number 5, yeah, not bad. Either way, thank you. And do I get to pick who comes in next?
Yeah, give somebody a high five.
Let's give a high five to Specs.
Ooh, okay.
All right.
Nice. And let me check on my tarballs.
Message. Ready? Mute the stream first. Okay. Specs is ready. Let's pull Specs in. Hello, Specs. You're muted, by the way.
Hey, did I fix it?
Yes.
Yep. Hello.
Hello, people.
Oh, we have a webcam. Oh, nice.
Yes.
Hey.
I have a new camera. Yeah, so I'm really excited to show off a project that I've been working on that's still definitely in the early stages. But this is the beginnings of a networked game that I'm making. And I'm starting out with just some simulation facilities so that I can get the network code to be where I want it. And so this is simulating a network using UDP. And so it's got the client running and the server. The clients are running and sending packets to the server, which are these lines. The server interprets those packets and then sends data back to the clients.
Wait, are you mousing over like an image or something?
Oh yeah, can you not see my mouse?
I can.
Well, we see your mouse, but it's on code. I just seemed like you were
Oh
maybe
yeah.
trying to show a
really?
graph.
Wait, you can't see the window?
No, you're showing just with the studio code.
That is super weird. I'm gonna
Yeah, try again.
try. Yeah.
Okay.
I think you clicked share window instead of share screen or something.
Yeah.
Yes, I did. Okay, that was it.
Okay, I knew my intuition was telling me that you were seeing something we weren't seeing.
Yeah. Okay. You see
Oh man.
this?
Okay. Yeah.
There we go. Okay.
All
Yeah.
right, here we go. So, by the way, this is Dear Imgui running with Vulkan on Zig. So,
Oh,
I've
snapple
found a whole
sauce.
ton of libraries. I'm also using CGLTF in this project and enet, and I'm binding the Vulkan memory allocator. This is just a bunch of C libraries.
Nice.
But so anyway, so the client's simulating stuff. It's sending inputs to the server. The server reads them here and sends stuff back to the client. But the really cool thing about this system is how it reacts to changes in the behavior of the internet between the client and the server. So like, and really this gets down to the core of like, what does it mean to have a networked game? And so the choice that this game is making is to have the server always simulate at a constant rate. So time is always going at a certain speed on the server, and that's like 1-to-1 speed of the game. And so this is what is happening in the game right now, like at any given time. But the client's inputs need to be at the server before it can simulate that frame, before like in time for it to simulate that frame. So the clients have to predict out ahead of the server. And they need to figure out how far out ahead of the server to predict based on network stuff. And packets might get lost, so they need to buffer more inputs for the server. So that's what these blue lines are inputs that the server knows but hasn't simulated yet because time hasn't gotten there yet. And so if I do something like, for example, I reduce the round trip time for this client, it's going to make its buffer really big because the packets get there very quickly. And then the server will realize that the buffer is bigger than it needs to be, and it'll send that info back to the client. And what the client does, in order to move its simulation point back closer to the server, it'll actually dilate time a little bit and slow down the game in order to sort of compress time and get itself back into a point where the game is more responsive. And then if the opposite happens and time increases, then it'll increase the speed of time a little bit and move the simulation point up ahead of the server more. And so this is still a simulation and it's running much slower than normal. I can increase the speed up to like real time. And then it's, all this stuff. But if I like go up, if you have a massive spike, you're going to drop a bunch of packets for a second or so, but then it'll figure it out. And the really cool thing about this system is that this client has a really massive, like 300 millisecond ping, and they're having to simulate, and like their client is extrapolating from what they know is authoritative back here all the way forward to this point in the future so that they can have inputs ready for this, right? And that's what you see if you have a bad ping, is that people aren't always exactly where you expect them to be, but everything feels smooth for you because the client is simulating everything you did. Does that make any sense? Feel free to ask me questions if I'm saying things like if I've gone off,
I think my
I don't know.
internet cut out for a second, so I might have missed some of the explanation.
Okay.
But did you already say what the red things are?
Yeah, the red things are drop packets.
Okay, cool.
So like if I slow this down, we're at 10% packet loss, but if we go up to like 40% packet loss, starts dropping more packets, and the server's going to realize that it needs a bigger buffer in order to make sure it doesn't drop any inputs, and so this will like get bigger, and that'll push the client forward in time a little bit.
Wow, that's super neat.
I remember, Specs, when I think you linked also an explanation about what Blizzard is doing, right, with Overwatch, which is
Yeah,
related to this.
this is based on the Overwatch netcode
Yep.
model, which does something very similar.
So I have a question. Do you think so? The way I understand is these time dilation or compression processes that the server does, they tend to be like, I guess, small scale things that you as the player are not supposed to really feel, right?
So in this simulation, it never really goes over 1.04 or 0.0.98 times speed. Like it's really close to 1 times. It's just a little bit of dilation in order to move the client's simulation point ahead of or behind the server simulation point, which doesn't move.
Mm-hmm. I remember I've been playing a lot of Apex Legends recently, and it's been a while since I last saw this, but it started happening again. What they have is that in some situations, when the game starts and it's a battle royale, right? So in the beginning it's pure madness. When the server starts lagging, the server slows time for everybody. Like everything starts moving in slow motion, and I'm assuming it's not because of network problems, but it's because the server can't keep up. So it slows time down for everybody so that it can still give you something usable. Have you ever read anything about this technique?
So I don't know about it specifically, but that's kind of what would happen here. So if something were to happen on the server that suddenly slowed down its ability to process frames, this green line would start moving backwards, right, and slowing down. And all of the buffers would end up being too big, and so all of the clients would slow down in response. So that is kind of naturally what the system would do. But yeah, I don't know the specifics of how that game does networking, or if it's something different.
Okay, thank you. In any case, I'm going to use all of this information as an excuse when my shots don't hit.
Sounds good.
What's the name of your game coming up, or can we follow the progress? Or
yeah, it's going to be like a networked foosball game. I'm also planning to build like an actual physical controller with rods and things that I can spin around and move. But the code is on GitHub. I'll post a link in the Zig Discord, or in the Zig Showtime Discord. Yeah.
Oh, hey, you know what else we should talk about while we have you here? Let's make the announcement that Specs is now paid by Zig Software Foundation to help work on the first draft of the official language specification.
Thanks. Yeah. I'm really excited. Yeah, my primary goals are working on the language specification and getting that into a place where it's workable, and also working with Andrew and the rest of the Zig team to finalize a lot of the design and start getting into a place where the language is not so unstable.
Yeah. And if you you might recognize Specs from hanging out in the Zig help channel, just selflessly, tirelessly answering questions in a really detailed and helpful way. I saw that and I thought, really that's boring. What we need. What's that?
It's because my work is really boring.
Careful, it's a public stream. Just kidding. But I mean, I saw that and I thought, that's the guy we need working on the spec. The guy who can be that patient and detailed, and with all these, people asking questions. So that's going great. I'm looking forward to that. And that's just at your own pace, at however many hours you want to spend. And then we started doing weekly meetings along with Josh, where everybody brings a proposal and we try to just talk it out, get to a solution before the meeting's over. And I feel like it's been helpful. How are you feeling about that, Specs?
I think it's a great idea. I think it's good to, especially just to start closing a lot of these issues that have been open for a really long time, and try to define the direction the language is going to go in so that it can be stable at some point.
And I know you were concerned about it feeling kind of like a secret club, and it's like, oh, what are these guys doing, behind closed doors with the language? But
I hope people don't feel that way.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know. Maybe people in the chat can maybe reassure us, but the way I see it is we just got to get some of this stuff figured out, and I hope that people will just appreciate that that we're getting progress done and that we're getting stabilization done. That's how I see it. Nope, they hate us now, so sorry.
Oh no.
Yeah, I think governance is a very interesting issue, but and different communities have gone different ways in that regard, and surely you can have too much of either extreme. But at least in the beginning, given the resources that we have, I think we, as Andrew said, let me put this in just slightly different words. This is probably the way that we can get shit done now, today. Like in my small realm of the website, for example, since I'm now working on the website redesign. For example, I chose to just use a off-the-shelf static website generator and Hugo, one written in Go. So people could say, why are you using a Go tool? Why aren't you writing your own? And the answer is, I want the website today, not after the tool is done. Once the tool comes, sure, let's move over. But we have to keep practicality in mind. That's the point. That's how you make things real, right? We are doing computer science. Well, sorry, we're doing computer engineering. We are not doing philosophy or mathematics. So things has to happen and be real, tangible today, or before we die, at least.
Yeah.
I will say, so Snectron is asking for more like visibility into the process, and we are, after each meeting, I go through and type up all the decisions and post those on the relevant issues. But we could maybe do something more like record them, I guess, if you want.
Yeah, that's a reasonable request. Let's think about that.
Mm-hmm.
So Specs, there was a question in chat from earlier about your demo, so maybe you can quickly answer this one.
Sure.
So the question was, if one client has problems and the server compensates, does that affect the other clients?
Let me share my screen again so I can show you. So that's actually one of the really cool things about this system is that it doesn't. So the server is always running at constant time, and how far ahead of that the client has to predict is only dependent on that client's network problems. So you can see this client has like really terrible ping, and they're having to predict out all of this far, and all of the things that they might perceive as lag problems would just be a result of mispredicts because of the amount of time that they have to predict ahead. But this client only has 150 millisecond ping, and so they only have to predict out this far. And this client, like, if they have totally killer, like, 40 millisecond ping and no packet loss, once a packet loss goes down, you see major improvement because you can see it's dilating time here. It's shrinking this buffer down to just 1 frame because it knows it doesn't need more than that to get all of the inputs. And so this client gets like super close to the actual time, despite this one having really terrible ping.
I did watch the presentation from Blizzard, and if I remember correctly, the thing that changed was because the server is requesting a window of inputs from the clients, right? And so the changing time in that sense basically just meant that the server would ask would make changes to that window of commands that they request to the client. Do I remember correctly?
I don't think I quite understand. Sorry. So like.
Yeah, so if when I watched the video, I think I remember that. So connecting this to the question that said whether something would change for every client or not, and the answer is no. The changes in delay only impact the communication between one client and the server. And but I'm assuming that question comes from understanding that something has to change, not just in the client, but also in the server. And even if it's not the simulation that changes, if I remember correctly, the server tells the client which there is a window of inputs that the client that the server wants from the client,
Yeah,
right?
okay,
And
okay,
that's
I know
what
what you're
changes.
talking about. Yeah, so that's this blue buffer is all of the inputs that have gotten to the server and haven't been processed yet, and each of these packets
Sorry,
actually
one
includes-
second. Can you point your mouse on the blue buffer?
Yeah, this
Is-
one.
it-
Can you see it? It's light blue. It's like green blue.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah. So this buffer is like all of the stuff that hasn't been received. And you can see that even though frames are being dropped here, the server has information about those frames. And the reason for that is that each of these packets actually contains 15 frames of input.
Yeah.
And so when it gets to the server, and well, if you have a really stable connection, it's a lot less than that. It's just the blue frames down here are sent in every packet.
Right.
The dark blue frames. So when the server gets a packet, it's got all of this info, and then it's able to fill in any blanks. And so this jumps forward, but it doesn't usually get any holes in it unless you have really crazy packet loss, and then it gets some holes.
Right. In which case, the server has to assume that you were pressing kept the button pressed,
so
right?
then the server extrapolates your previous input and just like assumes you were pressing the same thing as last frame. And that's when you get like real problems, but that doesn't happen until totally ridiculous connection settings with this setup, so that's not too bad. Like even here at 80% packet loss, it's like doing a decent job.
Understood. Okay.
Yeah. All right. Shall we switch to the next person? Any more questions?
Yeah, thanks for sharing. That was really cool.
Yeah, I think
All
we're
right.
good.
Let's pick somebody who has been waiting for a long time.
Yeah, I think Joachim and Max have been here for a while.
Let's do Max, since we know Joachim and Max is somebody new, I think, or at least has never been on stream.
All right. See you.
Bye.
Thank you very much, Specs. Okay, so let's bring in Max. Message.
Oh, hey, we got a nice, healthy chunk of people doing a group watch over here. That's pretty cool.
Okay, let's bring in Max. Oh, wait, there's a message. Okay. Hello, Max. By the way, you're muted, just so you know.
Okay, I just unmuted myself. Okay, so hi, I'm Maxine. To everyone on stream, 200 people, which is pure insanity, considering that a release party was 0.6, and that was like 10 people in a voice chat, and that was it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you have anything in particular to show, I mostly just want to gush. Tried to write a brainfuck interpreter. It doesn't work, but I have that. I guess the main thing that I kind of wanted to talk about was just like sharing the projects of Zig and like the community with other people, because like I tell everybody I know about Zig, people who don't care, people who don't understand it, and people who are annoyed by it, because eventually they just come and check it out, right? And I find that like almost a bigger contribution than I don't know what would be bigger than, but anyway.
Then forking it and closed sourcing it, maybe.
Oh man.
No.
I was just trying to help you complete your sentence.
Well, please don't steal our language. As Mark Zuckerberg once said, it's cool. That's what it got going for it.
Well, thanks for coming on. Do you have a project that you want to talk about that you're working on?
Not at the moment. I kind of wanted to. I haven't started this yet, but I wanted to do some like stuff with the Nintendo Switch and like homebrew. But I haven't gotten to it because I don't want to break my Switch, and I haven't finished Legend of Zelda yet. So if I break, then I won't be able to finish it.
Yeah.
So finish Legend of Zelda, then break it.
Right?
Yeah,
wait. Finish Zelda. Maybe wait for the new one to come out. Play that too, then break it.
And break it. Yeah.
Hmm.
I mean, there's a
Possibly.
new one coming out. I don't remember when, but it should be soonish, right?
Yeah.
Well, anyway,
Speaking of gushing, I just want to thank both you, Andrew, for creating this because it's been like one of the favorite things in the world that I've been interested in. Like, it's like basically solved all of the problems that I've had with the software and game development industry. It's just like, or hasn't solved all of them, but has gotten very close. And for Loris, for working on the website, that's going to be pretty huge because every time I send the website to people, they're like, "What the hell is this? This looks gross." Because it's just like a
Hey.
list of links. And like, no offense, but anyway, that's all I had to say.
Well,
thank you.
Thanks for the kind words. See you around, yeah?
yeah, thank you
Yeah.
very much. And if you happen to write something or do anything, please make sure to share your stuff on any showcase channel or whatever.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you again.
Okay. Thanks. Bye.
Bye.
Hey, Ali, you want to say anything to the fine people of the internet?
Uh-oh.
Hi, everyone.
Hello.
This is Ali's room, so she's letting me use it very kindly.
Okay. Andrew, pick somebody else.
Okay, Joaquim.
Okay? Yeah. Message. Are ready to join? Mute the stream first.
Yeah, those are not my dresses in the closet.
Are they not? Oh. Okay.
They're very pretty though. I'm not saying I wouldn't wear them, but they're not mine.
You know, the problem of those dresses is that they tend not to have pockets, which can be a deal
I
breaker for some.
know. Yeah.
Hello.
Hello.
Hey.
Hey, Joachim. How's it going?
Good. And you? How about you?
Pretty well. Pretty well.
Okay.
Ni-
Very good.
What
I
do you have
wanted to
for
show
us?
off my work on the new ARM64 backend.
Oh, 64 this
Um,
time.
Yes.
Okay.
I originally wanted to do this with Jakub Konka, but he didn't have time anymore, so it will be just me. Yeah, I'll see if I can, because I'm on Wayland now. I don't know if this screen share works. Can you see something?
Let's see. Yes,
Yes.
it's working.
Yeah, I can only share my editor because yeah, this is also working on X11, and I can only share stuff which is also on X11. So yeah, this is the new ARC64 backend. It's way not complete yet. It's only the bare things are here. The bare metal here, like the description of the registers, even the description of the floating point registers, and also some instructions, but not as many as the ARM 32-bit backend yet. Yeah, as I said, I was working. I am working with Jakub on this because he can test this on the ARM64 Mac OS, and that is very good. And yeah, I can also show in codegen.zig we already uncommented the ARM64 related stuff. There's already a draft pull request with the number 6900.
Nice.
And yeah, and it's only one thing in the to-do list marked as complete, but we are getting to it because the semester has started here in Germany already, and I don't have as much time as I had during the semester break for the ARM32 backend. So slowly but steadily, we will get to this goal. And yeah, also I've also been working on the ARM32 backend a bit more. I've implemented saving and loading stuff from the stack, and I'm also working on arithmetic instructions next. So that would be also cool. Yeah,
This is great work.
Awesome.
Really excited to have you working on this.
Yeah. I am personally very invested. I said this already. I will probably one of the people that is gonna buy the new Mac. So I'm looking forward to using all of this stuff.
Yeah. Also, I want to say, Joachim, I know that some of the way that this code is organized is maybe. I'm sure that by now you've done so much work that you have some opinions on how you would want to change it, and maybe not on this release party, but some other time, I'd be very interested to hear your opinions, because when you put the work in like this, I think that gives you the clout to want to change organization, and like I just want to give you an opportunity to have your to have your code, technical debt preferences met. I want to keep you happy.
I'll be happy to. Yes.
Awesome. So how is life in Germany right now? I know that Europe is starting to get back in a general lockdown. How is it for you?
I think, we have in Germany, they're not technically called lockdowns. They're called Kontaktbeschränkungen, so minimizing of contact. And I think we have the temporary mini lockdown now is until the end of November, with the goal of enabling families to meet again in Christmas and have a good time together. And so for example, in Darmstadt, in the center of the city, there's you have to wear a mask in public, but the regulations haven't changed that much. So it's like a mini temporary lockdown, and but so far everything is going well. The semester is online as was the last semester. So the lectures and the exercises are all held online. So I'm pretty happy right now.
Okay, awesome.
Glad to hear that.
Yeah. Okay. Any other question, Andrew or Joachim?
No, I don't think so. I think we're ready. Thanks for sharing. I'm excited about this pull request.
Yeah, thanks.
Do you want to pick the next person? I think we had Surad that was waiting for a while, and also XQ. Which will...
Yeah, I think Surad. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's pick them. Yeah.
Okay, so let's start with Surad. Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks again, Joachim. Looking forward for your next talk on ARM64, and also,
let's see. Yeah,
and also for using your backend code on my machine. Bye.
Thank you. Bye. Have a nice day.
Thank you.
You too.
Okay, let's message Surad. Message. Ready to join. Mute the stream first. Let's get it. Okay, he's ready.
Oh my god, they're making a new emoji out of my face over here. Jesus Christ.
Howdy. Hello. Oh, we have to do also again. Yeah. Hey, Surad, how's it going?
What's going on? Hey, we can't skip on Proddy's picture.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're ready to do it if he wants to be ready.
I'm willing to wait to see this picture.
I don't know. Let's do you, and maybe we can get King ready to be the next person. Sorry, Felix. You'll be right after King if King wants to come back. Oh, hey, Sura, nice webcam. Finally meeting you more or less face to face.
Yeah, it's been a while.
I like
Eventually, I'll
your
do a talk.
I like your headphones. They're not kidding around, man. Those are serious. I like it.
Yeah, we don't get around here.
Okay.
So I don't have too much to show.
I think you need to
Really,
increase
it's
the
just
font size,
interface.
though.
Okay. How's that? Good enough?
It's still a bit distorted. But okay, it's clear enough. Yeah, now it's fine. You know what the problem
That's good.
is the red color. Because I know that you like the red theme. The problem is that for video encoding, red is the color that gets the fewer bits.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, you don't know about this. This is an amazing
Oh.
story. So it's based on how eyes work for animals, and the green channel gets twice the pixel as the red channel.
I see.
So you want me to change the colors?
It's okay, I think.
I mean, it's doable. If you want to change them quickly, that's fine. But otherwise, we can make it do. It's readable.
That is so fascinating. I'm gonna go annoy my girlfriend after this and tell her this new factoid that I just learned.
Yeah, I don't remember the name. Maybe somebody in chat can help me. It's somebody's filter. It's the filter from somebody whose name I should know. But as usual, I know things. I never know names. And yeah.
We can always enhance more.
Enhance. All right, sorry for interrupting. All right, let's see it.
So all I really want to show is just a quick teaser of the API I have going on. So this is for my C-style Varargs. Essentially, to make your own function that can take Varargs, all you do is this. So first you initialize your VA list, then you can start pulling stuff off of added registers and off of stack. Eventually I will have a demo of re-implementing printf in just pure Zig, but that's a while away.
Wow, so you've done this in userland without even any language support.
It's mostly a mix of comp time and assembly.
Super cool.
Uh,
This is a proof of concept that we could potentially use to simplify the language if it makes sense. Is that what you're thinking?
yes, it also should enable you to call these type of arg functions from even stage 2 without LLVM.
Oh, right. Yeah, that's a beautiful side effect. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's pretty cool so far. Like, it's taken me a while to get just like the right amount of things working. But it's been pretty straightforward, really. I do this goofy thing here where I iterate over. This is all comp time right here. So I just look at the struct that's passed in and check and make sure everything, all the types that are passed in are essentially something that can fit into a register. I haven't gone into doing structs yet. I'm almost finished with floats, but I have anything that's an int or looks like it spells like an int working. Here's where I actually, so the thing with at least on 64-bit, you have to iterate backwards over the arguments because any arguments past a certain number get put onto the stack. So essentially I have to start backwards, so I just take the length of the arguments, do an inline while loop, and then now I start from the end, and if I'm further than the end of those arguments, I say, hey, grow the stack by this much, and then stack growth is comp time. So then when it goes to clean up after the function call, if it's anything, just add to the stack pointer, which is super straightforward. Like, all this is resolved at compile time. The last thing I just did was make this push int and push float function, because before the contents of these functions were both here, and they were getting a little crazy. Right, so this is push int. It's just handling for each argument you have to put them in a specific register, and then at a certain point you just start dumping them on the stack.
Nice. Yeah, this is
So,
a really
yeah.
neat proof of concept.
Yeah. I only know 64-bit and 32-bit. I'm not doing any other architectures.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Sorry, I think you mentioned, or somebody mentioned that the Vararg system is to some degree also dependent on the compiler used. Is that correct?
Yes. So I have a test that I'm running at the bottom where if I'm linked to libc, then I just call smprintf using my function call varargs, where you give a return type, you give the function, and then you give a tuple just like you do when you do print, and it works. The only time it doesn't work is you link libc and you do debug mode, because when you start pulling the arguments, yeah, so I have this compiler here for now until I can get it fixed. But essentially, I think it's RCX ends up getting just some random instruction just right at the beginning of the function call, where you start pulling the arguments. And it just mutates it very slightly. And I don't know what it's doing, but it's just enough to make everything, like everything else is good. It's just this one register is mutated. So the value, it throws everything else off if you depend on the value. Yeah, it's pretty good. Liking it so far.
Nice.
Yeah, that's great.
Have you tried using naked CC?
I have. It's kind of my do this break glass if I need to.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it makes defining functions that take Vararg lists more complicated, because you need to handle that. So I have to manually set up the stack frame.
Yeah, I see. Yeah.
But what's cool about it so far, though, is so when you set it up, right, you get your first argument for free, and then you set up, because say this was printf, right? You call next, you parse the string, the format string, and then you have a count of how many arguments you would want. Then you initialize it, and so then when you call next, it'll start giving you arguments until either no more args, or if you didn't initialize it, which you can assert happened already, you set that to reachable. But this is just, it's a nice way to make sure things are initialized properly. Because the problem with Varargs is it's kind of unbounded. So you can just, if I didn't have no more args or any way to set the count, I could just pull things off the stack until probably it breaks.
Yeah. Well, this is really really neat proof of concept, and at the very least, it will come in handy when trying to implement the support in the language for Varargs functions that are extern.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that's all I got.
Thanks for sharing.
That was nice seeing you guys.
Take care. We'll see you around.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, I have word that a certain king is available.
He's requested. We need.
He's definitely requested.
Yeah, he's definitely requested. There's a king in the waiting room. I guess it's time to pull him in. Hey, king. You're muted again, by the way.
Yep. Okay.
Okay.
Welcome back.
Hello.
Welcome back. Yeah. So, are we ready for some drawing?
Yes, but I do not know what I'm going to be drawing. So.
Oh, you don't even know yet. Nice.
No.
Should we take requests from the chat?
From chat?
Honestly, that is going to like everyone to start requesting things, and I start adding on it.
Oh, you want people to request things to add to it?
Yeah,
Is that right?
and just keep adding to see what it becomes.
Okay. So what are we starting with?
Okay,
we have. Go ahead, Loris.
Okay, so we have Light Under that says he wants they want a angry Ziguana. Then somebody else wants a Christmas Ziguana.
Wait. So the format is he draws it for a minute, and then someone gets to add something to it. That's how.
Oh, okay.
Right, King?
Yeah, sure. I'm just drawing stuff. This is bad. I'm already messing up. Hold on. It's iguana.
Yeah, let's go with this format. I think it's very cute.
What does the iguana look like?
Well, do one of your usual, like, you know what you did for the LLVM article, right? By the way, for the people that have seen the LLVM, that have read the article about LLVM, the drawings are from King. He made all of them.
This is so much fun.
Nice.
People are making the connection that you're.
Hold on, a horse. Then I'm what? Continue.
That you're redoing the drawing just like you redo a Zap.
No. I mean, honestly,
how do
I
you
would have.
draw a horse face that good with one try?
It's gonna be terrible after everything after. So.
Are you using a mouse?
I am using a mouse. That's why it's all squiggly.
Wow.
Horse. I'm trying to draw fast, taking the recommendations. It's a really fat horse.
Okay, next recommendation. Let's see what we got here. Someone said Christmas.
Christmas. Oh, wait.
Okay, what's next?
Let's see.
What's the next recommendation?
Oh
no, people are too busy complimenting. Yeah, fireworks.
Yeah,
let's go.
Fireworks. To be honest, I've never shot fireworks in my life. So
really,
yes, I've seen them like shot at the park, like the small fizzling ones. But that's about it.
Okay, so now the next request is it needs to have a staff and be fighting a dragon.
Oh, jeez. This ended up really weird.
Okay, and the horse should be smoking something.
Hold on, this is too much. Back to the dragon.
Wow, nice.
What are the other suggestions?
Okay, there should be a princess riding the dragon.
The dragon's not even dead yet.
And here's a small change request to the princess. It's a Princess Ziguana, so it's still another Ziguana, but it's also a princess.
Every time one of these suggestions come in, I just think like it's impossible. Nobody can draw that, and then I'm just watching it happen in front of my face. Oh, this is so good. Thanks for coming back, King.
That's perfect.
Was
yes.
this actually worth it? Was this really worth it?
Is this going to be the Zap logo?
I hope not.
Okay, we have a request for a beefy arm on the dragon. A little Homestar Runner throwback there.
He's gonna have to get some surgery for this one.
Okay, we also, just as a meta, started a request. People people want like a download so they can make it their wallpaper.
Okay, you guys need to get with higher standards. This is Mousetrap.
Nice. Got the DP
Awesome.
arm. Okay. What else do we have here?
Awesome.
Okay, next request is a 4-sided triangle.
What does that
What?
look like?
A triangle with 4 sides.
That's actually easy, King. It's the kind of stuff that you get requested in your average enterprise job.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I understand.
Well, also, can you draw 3 perpendicular lines?
Hold on. Doing a triangle. 3 perpendicular.
That's parallel.
I never took trigonometry. Hold on. Perpendicular.
So like a plus sign would be 2 perpendicular lines.
Okay.
But now you have to do a third one. It's also perpendicular.
No, in 2 dimensions. That's.
I think you're being trolled at this point.
Yeah, you know what?
I have no idea.
We can figure this out in the next sprint. It's a present. Nice.
Okay, next request is... Tell me when to stop, by the way. I don't know. But the next request is a Death Start in the distance.
A what?
Oh, sorry, a Death Star. The guy just keeps getting bigger.
Yeah, this is like scope creep. It's very definition.
Doesn't Death Star look like a moon?
Yeah, kind of with one end that, yeah, with some hole or something.
It's a big Pokeball.
Basically.
Okay, so there was another request. This was from way earlier. I forgot about it. A pet Ziggy, like the mage Ziguana has a pet Ziggy next to him. Not the princess Ziguana, the other Ziguana. Yeah, that's Ziguana.
It's gonna have to be really small. A pet Ziggy.
Nice.
This has become. All right, should we frame it?
Yep.
Yeah,
That's time.
I think we're good.
All right, it's time to frame.
Can someone explain the Kubernetes joke to me?
Kubernetes.
Oh, okay.
You said to do it in a fashion like 4th triangle. I don't know what that means. So apply Kubernetes to it. Just gotta fix it somehow. Great.
Love it.
Nice. Thank you, King. That was awesome. As usual, you know how to draw. You really know how to draw.
Can we
Scribble.
can we have permission to put this in the release notes?
Yes, you have full permission to use this terrible drawing in your really hard worked on release notes.
Excellent.
Thank you very much, King.
All right, see you. I gotta go. Actually, go now.
All right, take care. Thanks for coming back.
Yeah, thank you very much.
All right.
Okay.
That was great. So much fun.
So who should we do next? XQ? Felix? He's been waiting for a while, I think, now.
Yeah, I think that's right.
So let's message him.
Check out my tarbells.
Okay. First, let's go. Hello, Felix.
Hello. Is
Welcome.
this actually counting on the stream?
Hello.
You're doing what?
Hey, I have a little bit prepared today, or let's say 2 weeks ago, and I wasn't invocation since then. But we can do here. We have a bit of code. And this is an embedded project which I was working on. It's running on an LPC 1786 with 100 wonderful megahertz. And wait, can you hear me? Yes, you should be able to hear me. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So yeah, and I was playing around on an embedded hardware, and I have a Zig program with a main.zig, and it has a main function which can return an error. And I can just call functions on my GPIO pins, which will one instruction, another instruction, and so on. Those are being formed the pin connect matrix of the microcontroller to connect a port 0 function, which is a GPIO pin, with pull-up enabled and no open drain. And we can connect our pins to different functions like the function 11 or 11, which is an SPI connector. And usually this stuff sets 4 registers, several bit fields, and it's horribly unreadable in C because you have a lot of like bit field configurations, and this will just compute at comp time what bit fields will need to be. But that's actually the boring part of this piece of code. We have an event loop, and we have async on embedded. I learned that doing an event loop is really easy. And we have 3 functions which will read a buffer and will echo your name is and will greet, which is a loop, and it's just a function which will use the serial reader or read just blink an LED. And yeah, it will turn the LED on. It will wait for 500 milliseconds via the event loop, and it will turn the LED off and will wait 250 milliseconds. Also, just play completely async. And to show what I have, I can actually show you this here.
Ooh.
And with one single command like zig build release, it will now get programmed, or like it will compile. Program the thing via Wine. Actually, need to use Flash Magic at the moment to flash my processor, and then it will run the program, and we can see on the serial line what. As we can see, there's in my project folder, which is the hex file we can use as a firmware. And if I can show off, there's a small programming which is blinking really fast. And it's done, and we have now a program that runs on our display. Manipulations, and it will do, And while all running, connect to the serial port. First of all, this is all messed up because the startup of the machine is too fast. Set the processor will start sending, and then the OS is changing the baud rate of the serial to reception. So we have to reset our messages from up here. which we've written with a synchronous writer to the serial port because we don't have an event. I can now say, hello, I'm Felix. I should be able. Let's start it. Not sure why it's not working now, but
Oh no.
that hardware, it will eventually work again. So the event loop itself is really simple. It is a list of tasks, and each task is a wait condition and a frame pointer, and wait for a timestamp or can wait for a register value with bit masks and so on. Each condition has a function that checks if the condition is met, and we have function wait for, which waits for a condition and will then suspend here, and it will just append our condition into a task list, which is a global list of 64 tasks. And the event loop itself will just run until we have no tasks left, and it will check if a task's await condition is met, and if yes, it will resume that task, and that's the whole event loop.
Beautiful.
And yeah, that's all you need to implement an event loop in Zig, and it's beautiful because it just runs on embedded. I still have a problem with the whole code base, and I cannot really compile it in safe modes. Will just not run the program to figure out why. So yeah,
Alex Naskos pointed out that since it supports timers, you're actually better than the standard libraries event loop right now.
Why that?
Well, wait, we do have support for timers in the standard library, async await timers. Actually, King
spikes right now. I will shut down the stream.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
No.
Can you hear us now, Felix?
Yes, now.
Okay, so the comment from Alex Nask was about the fact that he said you are more further, you have more features in your event loop than in the standard library because you have timers. But I was pointing out that timers were actually committed by King. I was also there, but I was mostly watching, and so we do have support for timers, like async timers.
Oh yeah, I remember that now.
Yeah. And I think actually timers were the first thing I implemented in that event loop, because it's just like waiting until a variable is up to a certain. If it is, the condition is met and it will run. But yeah, for people that are interested, up on GitHub, as most of the stuff I'm doing, I think some of the code is even still in German. It was originally ported from my company, and it got through a lot of translations from C in German with German comments to C++ the comments state. But yeah, if you want to check out how to do async on embedded hardware, you can use that link. I posted on the Twitch chat and in Showtime channel. Yeah, that's. Oh, and Andrew, nice headphones.
Thanks for the recommendation. Oh yeah, nice headphones yourself there. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much, Felix. Yeah, I'm looking forward, by the way, to host your talk on making Android apps using Zig.
Yeah, I actually have a kitchen since yesterday.
Nice.
I'm again to do talks on Showtime.
Awesome. And maybe you should also share pictures of your kitchen then during the talk.
I'll do.
Okay, let's pull in August then. Shall we move forward?
Yeah, bring in August.
Okay, thank you, Felix. I'll pull you out now.
Thanks, Felix.
Let's see. Message. Are you ready? Mute the stream first. Oh, by the way, Andrew, I almost forgot the filter that I mentioned earlier. People in chat, as usual, knew all the things that I was missing, and it's a Bayer filter.
Got it.
And if you search RGB Bayer filter, you will find out what the pattern is, and you will see that there are very few red dots or red pixels in there. Okay.
That's pretty neat.
August is ready, so time to pull him in. Hello. Just so you know, you're muted.
Hello.
Hi. I'm August. Hello. So I've been working on this fun side project. Hayes saying things in chat, but anyways, on this side project, like 2 weeks ago, I guess, and it's really small, just like a fun demo. So I'm gonna screen share here. But first, a little bit of context, right? As you know, a teen in the 2020 era, right? I'm like a AAA, hardcore gamer. So I play the most intensive games, like so intensive it can only run at 30 FPS. It's called Among Us, right? And it's very interesting. It's a very interesting game. And I wanted to create these private servers. Funnily enough, there was actually a lot of stuff in the previous like small talks about like things that were actually used in this code, like running ARM, because I use BlueStacks for emulation because I don't want to buy the game on Steam for some reason. About UDP networking from specs, right? And how that like dropping frames and monitoring that. And it's just very interesting how this all comes together in my project. Though I don't monitor networking stuff yet. This is just like a really simple way to encode and decode the region file from Among Us's like data folder, right? So to begin, I'm just going to screen share this little tease of like the outcome. Hopefully this works properly. Fingers crossed, eh? So you can see this. You can see my Among Us thing, right?
Yes.
Yep.
If I click on online and at the bottom right, you'll see the region here. You see that?
Yes.
Yes.
So that's a custom region right here. So this is already like a quick demo of what you can do, right? So I just modified Among Us's like region file to change the name of the region. So I'm going to actually demonstrate how this works here. It's pretty simple. So doing this is a multi-step process that requires more than just knowing Zig. Let me just change my windows to my code editor here.
Yeah.
Okay. So essentially, first thing I have to do is learn how to use BlueStacks' ADB stuff. So doing that is not that hard. You can just Google it and to learn how to extract files from that. So it's a pretty like strange process to show on stream, so I'm not sure I'll show it. But after you do that, you can get this region file here. And using VS Code's integrated hex editor, I just manually like read this and guessed what the things did. And slowly but surely, I implemented this in Zig, right? Using all this code. And yeah, it's a pretty cool thing you can do. This is the code here that modifies the region file. You can see here the name of the region, custom region I made, one of the servers, right? So I'm going to demonstrate a few of the cool things you can do and using some cool Zig features for this. So firstly, right, compiling to ARM. So by default, BlueStacks. So I'm using MSI App Player here because it's on my computer already and I'm lazy, but it's essentially just BlueStacks, right? Uses ARM for emulation by default. And so what I can do with Zig is just compile to ARM, and instantly with modifying any code, it just works, right? So I'll compile to ARM here. Yeah, and then I can just drag my code into BlueStacks here. So, and I'm going to screen share my ADB window here. So let's see, change windows. This should be correct, I guess. Do you see that? Yes. So now if I just run this injector code here, this will just list out the region right now, region information. If I run this now, it says, see the region name of the current thing on my emulator, right? The matchmaker address, the server count, and the server names and their IPs and their ports, right? And so I can like switch out. Oh wait, let me screen share my entire screen because it makes more sense here. So that. Screen 1, nice. Hey, oh, so what I can do here, right, is go on online here, and for example, change this back to Europe, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if I run this command again, I can see like the Europe matchmaker address, servers. If I choose just the US region, right, I can see that. It's a kind of a cool thing you can do, right? And I'll demonstrate, like, changing this file, like what I did at the beginning, changing it to Zig 0.7, woohoo, right? So doing that is not that complicated either. I had a simple API right here. So I just read the region file. I seek to the beginning and I write some stuff to it, right? So I'm just going to write the header here. And I'm going to write this little server information. I'll change this to Andrew turned 32. Is that it, right, Andrew?
Yep.
Okay. All right. Right. And I'll just keep the server name the same. You don't see this, right?
Not dead
I
yet.
build this to ARM. Not dead yet, yeah. And I change this, I compile it, sorry. And now if I'm clone this into the Among Us shared folder, into the BlueStack shared folder, and I run this code, it should modify my region file. I may have to reopen the game, I'm not sure. Let's see. Yeah, I have to reopen the game. But anyways, I'm gonna rerun this. If I reopen the game, it should just change the region data. Now quickly, explain how the internals work. It's not that complicated. Hopefully this works, because it's a little finicky sometimes. Fingers crossed, eh? Let's see. Come on! Yay! There it is. Andrew turned 22. Hooray! And so I'll explain the internals real quick. It's not that bad. So I just have these these structs here that contain information that's stored in this file, right? This is just to convert the IP address to a U32, and I'm writing the data. So these are in U32 format, like these strange things here, right? I forgot how I figured this out, but I remember just thinking about randomly trying ways to decode the IP addresses and that working. So yeah. And I have some utils here. This reads the string. Essentially how strings are stored in here, right? I have string length here. So this is 0D or 13. And then the string is 13 characters long, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, right? So this readString function just reads the first number at the beginning, right? And then allocates that much space and just reads that string. The header here, read header, is not that complicated. It just combines the read string and read int to read the name. So we skip this. This is just information we'll talk about later. Let me read this name, North America. Let me read the matchmaker IP address, this. And then read the port, which is here. Here. There it is. I think that's right. I have no idea. Since I made this 2 weeks ago and I completely forgot. Then you have these free functions. And then you read the server info as well. So once you read the header, you get the server count. And what you have to do is loop, for every server, just read server info, and it'll take that information, with the name, the IP of the port, and return a struct, right? And that's how this read data file thing works, right? Oops, I don't need this allocator actually. I think I do actually, never mind. So it just reads the file, right? And then it prints the information by using the utilities we just talked about. And writing is pretty much the same thing, but the other way around. So a write string function just writes the length in the string. You have a write header that writes your info. Again, same thing the other way around. And in the end, that culminates to this. So that's it, I guess. But I have one more thing I want to talk about. Is kind of things I want to change about this. I did this before discovering Imposter, which is some server software for Among Us. And apparently, Among Us uses this thing called the C# byte writer and byte reader. And so implementing that could make this so much easier, because instead of having to manually create writers for each data structure in Among Us, I could just create Zig structs. And using comp time, I could emulate that byte reader and byte writer stuff from C#, right? And I want to change that. And also I want to use this to actually inspect the Among Us network protocol and try and implement that. So that'd be cool, right? Implementing an Among Us server in Zig. So yeah.
Neat.
Wow.
That's what I have so far.
Oh man, okay. What the hell? That was awesome. That was awesome.
Wow, thank you.
Man, I think
Are you-
also people in chat were surprised.
Are you trying to hint at something? Like, are you trying to get people to play Among Us with you?
Yes, absolutely. Please, can we do like an Among Us stream with you, Andrew? You sound like a great guy to play Among Us with.
Oh, that's nice. Maybe we can, maybe we can have some kind of like after party game or something
Okay.
after I get these tarbells uploaded.
Yeah. Any questions from chat? I guess is the last thing.
No, I think most of the chat was discussing about when they were your age, people weren't really doing this kind of stuff. There were a couple of comments like this, but no, people were having fun, kind of like us. That it's really cool. They were mostly commenting that. Yeah, that's really cool.
They said it's extra flamin' hot Cheetos awesome. Also, what the hell? They already suspect me, and we're not even playing Among Us yet.
I did not vent. No, Kumaris is saying I'm venting. I did not vent. I went to do upload, then I went back to admin where you do the second phase of upload. Then I tried to do the car swipe. I don't know how to do the car swipe. It always gives me bad read for some reason. What is that phase, August? It's true.
Laura, you sound like an Among Us pro. I thought you hated Among Us and preferred like some different games, huh?
Every time someone mentions Among Us to Loris, he always tries to change the topic to Secret Hitler.
I mean, I don't mind Among Us, but I do really think that Secret Hitler is just the more refined version. It's the purer drug. Like you get a higher. Yeah.
Don't nod your head like you know about hard drugs, August.
What if I do, Andrew?
Oh man. Okay. Let's not go there. I don't know what the border is with which those. So, thank you, Gus. I'm looking forward to also have maybe a full-fledged talk on this stuff once you figure out the whole Among Us protocol. I don't know if that is against terminal services of stuff, but yeah, it's interesting.
Okay.
Thanks for sharing.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, so I think Eleanor wanted to say a second thing, and since she has a time limit, if you don't mind, Andrew, I'll pull her in first. And then we have Soapstone. I hope she's not going to showcase the Thailand version of Zig Learn because, well, we'll see. So let's bring in Eleanor first. Hello, Eleanor.
Hello. Hello.
Welcome back.
Hello. What do you have for us?
Well, if I can get my screen up here. So, Zig, as we know, it's a very, very good language, a lot of good things about it. But I personally believe there are a few ways that it can be improved. I've put a lot of work into some proposals, and I'm quite proud of them. I've been told not to fish too hard for opinions, so I will not do that. Now, our inline assembly syntax. We pretty much just copied that verbatim from GNU. And it's been known for a while that there are some serious problems with it. And so this that I have been working on, this is improvements to that. So, here's the structure in the TLDR. If you're watching this on YouTube, you want to pause that. So the big thing, well, not the big thing, they're all big things. The first thing is volatile. Most of the time you're using assembly, it's because you want to interface with the system and you want it to be volatile. So, and it's kind of a pain to type that every time. So this inline assembly syntax has upgraded return semantics, and if assembly doesn't return a value, then volatile is implied. Or if it mutates a symbol, then volatile is implied. So in practice, you very rarely have to write it. We have upgraded bindings as well. We have a uniform syntax for them. So you see here, you can put in a wildcard, and you can get a register, a temporary or state register, a literal value, and also for stack machines, because GNU assembly cannot handle stack machines. And we can, because we have these two wildcard types that can take an array and push it to the stack prior to block entry, and then pop an array from the stack on block exit, and done that. Yes, we can also communicate stack growth to the compiler. What was it? Sorry, it's this is kind of, I'm not very coherent right now. So
is there any way we can help, like, with the presentation here, or do you want us to just listen and be quiet, or do you want to do like a QA style where we like ask questions about it and then you answer? Do we lose her?
Eleanor, let me double check. Oh, where's my Discord window? Eleanor is still in voice. Oh, let's give her a second. So I was thinking that the volatile thing, if I remember correctly, is also one thing that surprised Surad while he was working on the Varargs thing, because if you remember correctly, in the beginning he had trouble when every time he would compile for in release fast mode, the compiler would throw away all his code. Oh, Eleanor, are you back?
Oh, was I gone?
Yes, we could not hear you for the last 25 seconds, more or less.
Oh, jeez. Oh, what was the last thing I said?
You paused and you were trying to organize your thoughts, and then we lost you.
Oh yeah. So return semantics. You don't have to specify this register is going to be used for an output, or this register is an input and an output, or a late output, or an input and a late output. You just find the values that you're working with, then you have the code, and then you just have the values, and you can structure them and return them however you like. So here we have multiple returning values as an array, and there's no special syntax for that. You can just do it, and you can also do it directly if you like. There's no restrictions on this expression that can come after here. That's just regular Zig code that has access to these values. Can you still hear me? Am I still here?
Yes,
yeah,
we're hearing you.
Gotcha.
Okay, cool. And also the wildcard substitution character is the question mark, because that's much rarer to find in assembly languages than the %sign. We can call functions as well. See here we have this function binding, and what we can do with that, not only does that communicate to the compiler that this block of code calls this function, but it's actually a lot more convenient than the only other assembly language that lets you do that, which is Rust. Because if I can find it, yeah, here in Rust, if you want to call a function, that's technically going to clobber all of the registers that are temporary in that function's calling convention. But here, you can just specify one binding to get all of them in one go. So that's pretty good, I think. What else? Oh yeah, we have the register types. We can.
Oh no, Eleanor, we can.
Oh no, she gone.
Oh yeah, that's. I think really that's what happens when the whole planet is in lockdown. Let me see.
What?
I mean, oh, Eleanor, are you back? I think.
Oh no.
I think the. Oh, I can see it again. Eleanor.
Maybe she'll start doing Morse code with the mouse so we can try and communicate.
I don't know what to do. I can try to move the server to Australia, the voice server. Oh, fuck it. Let's try it. Sydney. Okay, Eleanor. Oh no, Eleanor. No.
Wait, do you know sign language? Let's see.
But
wait, no audio.
It's because since we're seeing our desktop, she's not seeing us. We can't
Oh, right. Okay.
hear you. That's so weird. Is this a Linux thing?
I don't think so.
Oh no.
Sometimes people say like, "Oh, this is a Linux thing," but it's like, okay, yeah, but it's the Discord code that says if Linux, do something stupid, else don't.
Oh, you're getting all defensive on the Linux thing.
I know.
No, I mean, you're right.
That always gets me.
If we had to pick a curl pit, it would be the JavaScript.
What?
No, you don't think that if there's an error in the code, it has to be the JavaScript? Oh.
There's JavaScript?
You're getting... You don't like that either. I know, but... So, let's try to get Eleanor back. Oh, man. Why? Why all these connectivity problems? And the thing is, I moved the server to Sydney, so it should be easier for her to come back. No, now she's offline completely. Okay, well, let's see if she can come back, maybe.
Well, I do have sort of like a general response that I could give, and then we could probably let Substin in, right?
Yeah.
Well, okay, yeah. So, first of all, I think it's great that she wants to come in here and just kind of show off her really excellently written proposal for different inline assembly syntax. And I don't think right now is a time when I can get into the details, because that would just go on a long time, and it's like I'm not in the headspace for it. So I don't really want to talk details right now, but sort of like meta wise, I definitely think that proposal is going to be largely influential on a Zig assembly syntax in the future. So it's not like next up in the queue priority wise, but it's definitely going to be important.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think it's great. I think it's great work. But...
I think Eleanor is back. Let's see if maybe she can finish. Maybe you can also tell her that directly. Eleanor?
Yeah. Okay.
Hello.
Hi.
I am so sorry.
No worries.
Yeah.
Oh, that happened.
Do you mind if I sort of give you kind of like a response, and then we'll try to give Sobstin a turn.
Okay. Well, there's this whole thing that I haven't covered.
Okay. Go for it.
Okay. So with this, I'm not sure if this came up, but you can have pointers to comp-time variables, and these fit into the usual flow of comp-time variables. So here, while main is being analyzed, it will actually detect that it is passing a pointer here, and then this function will be analyzed, and that runtime flow will happen. So this is actually executed at comp time. So this goes to there, and it's not just single variables that can do that. This is adapted from a solution that I proposed for something that Surreyrat was doing, and they were trying to have comp-time state bundled with runtime data, and the way to do that currently is to have a reference to a comp-time variable in an outer scope, which I think is messy. And it didn't work anyway because it was being memoized. So it was actually two different invocations were referencing the same one. So here we can have a struct that can exist in hybrid time. So part of this is known at runtime, and part of it is known at compile time. So you see down here, we can initialize this, and then this checking here, this is done at comp time. So, but the value of A doesn't have to be known at comp time. That's not at runtime. So this actually works. You can only give that twice before it fails. And then we have a different instance of that, even with the exact same parameters, it still works because it's a different invocation, it's a different instance. And the mechanism for that is that we take a pointer to a hybrid time struct that will actually execute in hybrid time, just like a function with a comp time variable. So part of this is executed at comp time, and part of it is at runtime. Now, another thing is that currently you can shrink and expand slices in place. And I just think that that is a footcon, because a slice is a reference to data. Like, it can be a reference to data. So you can make an array and make a slice within it. But then if you slice an existing array and then assign something of a different length to it, what would be the semantics of that? You could just say that you could replace that section of the array, but what if there's another slice in an overlapping range? What do you do then? There's no consistent way to do that. And so that's not possible. So instead what we have is just these built-ins to acquire and release memory at comp time. And then these can integrate into the standard allocator interface. So you can actually have a comp time array list. You can have a comp time allocators that work just the same as runtime allocators. So you can do things like comp time array lists, so you don't need slices. And then this was adapted from some of Vexu's code, was doing that. And we'd also need comp time defer and air defer to handle all of that. So I just think that that's a much better way to do comp time memory management. So that's all I had to say on that subject. Am I still
Yes, you are.
audible? Okay.
Yes, well, you made it all the way through that one.
Yes. So,
well, thanks for coming on and sharing a description of this proposal. We're seeing like pretty positive reactions in the chat, and I think it's a good proposal. I haven't looked, I have to do the thing where I load it into my brain in order to make any decisions or whatever, which I can't do right now. But I think it's an important proposal.
Yeah. I have two softer comments because, well, I'm not the lead designer, I guess. So that's the best I can provide. But for the assembly proposal, so I was mentioning this earlier while to fill up to fill the moment where you fill in the moment where you where we could not hear you anymore, and I was saying that Suirad, while he was working on the Varargs thing, at one point, I think he forgot to put volatile on a bunch of assembly code that was not returning anything. I think it was just modifying registers. And that caused the everything to stop working in release mode. So I guess that's one point where that makes sense. On the compile time proposal, I think that one interesting point that I don't know if you raised this explicitly. It's been a while since I read that proposal, but I think you don't raise it explicitly. But I think it's a very important point, is the fact that we talk about speed, mostly talking about runtime speed. But we've seen people do stuff at comp time that is fairly inefficient, and you probably can get to a point where you're asking comp time to do stuff that becomes actually slow. So the language itself is not slow at compiling, but when you are abusing comp time too much, and I think one way in which we have seen this recently is, since there is no allocation, people resort to functional style, like merging slices together, which then produces a copy of everything over and over, etc. And I think at one point we'll have to ask ourselves the question of how do we make comp time reasonably fast for reasonably complicated comp time programs?
Yeah, that's definitely what I'm thinking of as well.
Yeah, to be clear, right now, most of that problem is due to the current implementation of the compiler being very wasteful of CPU cycles and memory when doing comp time computations. So I've been making this claim for a while, and I still think it's possible, which is that the final state of kind of resource efficiency of comp time is going to be roughly C Python. So, if you and we will have caching, so it should be perfectly fine to do these long running computations with Zig's comp time features, because what will happen is, let's say that you have a top level declaration, pub const x equals something that takes 10 minutes to compute. You only have to do it whenever you change that code, or something that code depends on.
Right.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay. Well, thank you very much, Eleanor.
Yes, thank you. I'd just like to say one thing that I forgot to say in closing last time. A lot of these projects that try to do everything over again to get things right, they tend to have super toxic communities and be run by absolute assholes. And Zig, I'm happy to say that is very much an exception. Andrew, you are actually a decent person, and I very much appreciate that you did that. So thank you for that. And and also this community, you are good people, and you are nice people, and that's rare, and we can't take that for granted. So I'd like to thank you for that, and please keep doing that.
Well, I appreciate the kind words, and on that topic, I would say that I just want to express humility, because I think it's very easy to just kind of get caught up in like, ooh, good, we're an exception or something. But I think that what it looks like to have a community like that is to just always know that some people are going to have a bad time, and just to listen. Like my private messages are open, and Laura's too. Like if you're someone who is getting bullied or whatever, like it's just like constant work, right? We got to make sure that everybody's taken care of. So it's good. I appreciate the compliment, and I just want to express just like a willingness to be told that we're doing something wrong, and that we need to, I don't know, take some more steps to improve things. So that's all.
Thank you. Okay, that's all for me.
Thank you very much, Eleanor. Looking forward to your talk, if you want.
Yes, thank you. Eventually.
Okay. Oh no, we have Soapstone next.
Soapstone.
Oh, do we? Oh no, it's good. Let's hope it's not the Italian Zig Learn version. Well, let's see. Alrighty, I'm joking, by the way. I'm looking forward to what he's gonna show us. Eleanor, I'll move you out. Thank you again.
Thanks, Eleanor.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Okay. Hello. By the way, you're muted. Yes.
Hello.
Hi, Soapstone.
Hey, Soapstone.
So recently, in the last week or so, I've been spending more time doing casting for Windows again. I've been accelerating in how cursed things get. So right now, I'm doing a very limited re-implementation of the DLL loader, which is about as bad as you'd expect. I'm going to share my screen, but if it's going to work.
That's the way we like it. Unpracticed demos, just flying by the seat of your pants.
No, this code works. It's if Discord's gonna work. They're not very good at that thing. That anything. So right now I just got a limited version of load library, which is how you load DLLs. So it takes in like a big block of memory for like the file image, as well as the entry point that you want and the function type of the entry point and the args. And it's your job to free the image if you want to free the image after you've called it. Because this, of course, has to allocate the image into memory. So it gets all the headers from the file and the section headers. It allocates space for the image. It shoves a bunch of random bytes in there because of course. You want to make your DLL look different every time. It's fun for debugging. And copy things into each section in memory. In fact, I've actually stolen a lot of these function definitions from Binary Ninja, so thank you. You can see how massive like the top of it is.
Wait, what do you mean massive the top of it is? You're
Like the top of the file is.
you're
It's
just showing the editor.
oh
Yeah.
Am I? Sorry. Change windows. Screens. Yeah, there you go. You get the whole screen this time. I'm
That's
being
cool.
generous.
Wow, thank you.
Okay.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, Binary Ninja has lots of cool things for PE. So I've pretty much just copied the function definitions. And I know function definitions, struct definitions. And
By the
so
way, you
all
already
the
have one
information-
question from the chat
information.
ready
Okay.
for you.
Okay, I'm looking at the chat right now. Yeah, once we've gone through the sections and allocated, and once we've allocated space here and then copied over all of the sections from the file to the loaded image, we're starting to pass the import table. So right now, I'm currently not handling recursive loading. So if your DLL requires other DLLs, then you're screwed, and it does not work. We've got to panic for that. So it just finds things in the import table, tries to find where the import function is. And if it's there, then it copies over the function pointer in the right place. Finds the export. So that's your like entry point probably. It should be exported. If it's not exported, then you've got other things to worry about. So yeah, it finds the function. And it's got to go over the relocation table, which is a bit tricky, but it's fine. And this code is just flat out wrong, just so you know. But this changes the page permissions. If you have a very funky page permission that you need for your section, this code will not work. So enjoy that. And yeah, so I've done this. I've just prepared a bunch of DLLs which just grow in complexity. So ABC has no dependencies at all. It's just a function that returns a number. Then DF, I've moved on to this one. This one has to import functions from NTDLL. Then GHI does that, like takes in functions from NT and kernel 32. And then JKL requires libc. So right now, like in my progress wise, I've got GHI working, and I can show you that one. So we just build and run. It's return void because it's that's what it does. And log.txt. So I'm calling it here with the value 123 on write int, and that just prints to log.txt. We've got it here. So just a very short demo of the really stupid crap that I'm writing. Another thing I'm working on the sidelines is a kernel module written in Zig, but it's very hairy and I don't like remote debugging, so that might take a while. Yeah, that's all I got to show right now.
Okay, so the big question everyone's asking is, can you load Windows DLLs on Linux with this?
Windows DLLs on Linux? No. Oh, what?
Why not?
I mean, that it's a completely different format. By the way, there is one thing with how WSL1 works, in that there's a custom kernel module inside Windows which loads your executables, which are not Windows executables, and then executes them. So you've got processes in Windows that are not Windows processes. I love it.
Pretty funny.
But I mean, wouldn't you be able to run a simple function that doesn't do anything platform specific, just architecture specific? Like
I mean, sure. I mean, yeah, you could check the export table and then call that, because the x86 is gonna be the exact same. But writing code that writing a DLL that somehow works on both platforms would be extremely annoying.
Oh, don't worry. No one thought it was a good idea. They just wanted to know
yeah.
if it would work.
Yeah, of course. That's why I'm doing the kernel module. Because bad ideas are the better ideas, clearly. They're Yeah.
So, for the people watching, Soapstone is the creator, the mind behind Zig Learn. So, I
It's
think
also why it's missing so many pieces. That's my fault.
Oh, the website, yeah. But this is just to say that not everything that he does is discursed. Some things actually do make sense and are useful, and I think people do enjoy Zig Learn. I think I've seen most people I've seen a lot of good comments about Zig Learn. Yeah, Kumari Spaghetti is saying that you should add a curse Zig section to Zig Learn.
Like the Rustonomicon.
Yeah.
The most cursed thing here is the
something
pointer
like this,
math going on.
But I think that like something like the Nomicon stuff that's kind of played out. I think you should go for the Zig Kama Sutra.
Oh, I see.
So
But yeah, the kernel mode will increase the cursed. I had an incredibly cursed bug. I thought freeing was actually not allowing me to free because I had committed pages that aren't writable. Well, no, that was just the standard library allocator messing me up. Because I was compiling in debug mode, and the debug mode wanted to write all A's when I freed a page. Page wasn't writable. I got a seg fault in memset, and I got confused as hell.
Right.
Yeah. Sounds about right.
Yeah. Okay, Sobson. So when do you plan to? Did you publish anything about async await on Zig Learn?
You know what? Today I was going to be nice and not make fun of you for being Italian. I might have to change that.
Oh no! What you got? Show us.
Yeah, you might have seen this in the stream, but God.
Oh no! What?
That's why. A comment there.
That's why your code doesn't compile.
It's been there since the start.
Wow, that's really low stakes.
Oh no! I got pwned. Oh man! Okay, so anything else you want to say before we move forward?
Any other comments, if you will?
Yeah, just expect more curse things in future. Good night.
Looking forward to those.
Stop
then.
By.
Maybe also normal talk. I don't know. Something non-cursed.
No.
Okay.
We've got to ramp it up.
Okay, it's fine either way. Thank you very much. So,
goodbye.
Goodbye. Let's see. I think we went through everyone.
Yeah, I think that's it.
That's it. Andrew, I actually do have one last thing for you.
Okay.
I know it seemed like we were completely unprepared for this, or at least I was. Maybe I was, but I did take time to prepare one last thing. So it's slightly more complicated to showcase this to both you and the stream at the same time. So I'll need a second for the to engineer everything. So I need, first of all, to switch scene in OBS, and I'll share my screen with you at the same time. So,
okay.
First of all, change the scene. Second, share my screen.
Komari says, "Don't kill me." What did you do?
So, okay. Can you see my screen?
Almost. Oh God, what are you doing?
Okay. Make sure you also have audio on. I think if you move your mouse over the window, you can see whether you have audio enabled from my screen share or not.
Yes, I think. I hear your voice.
Oh yeah, but from the screen share, it's a separate audio knob.
Okay, I have it on.
Okay. This should work both for you and the people. Let's see.
Oh my God, what is the situation? What the fuck? Oh, this is really creepy. I do not like this. Freaking stop. Oh god. This is so cursed. I'm gonna minimize this. I minimized it. I'm not watching. Tell me when it's over.
It's almost over.
Oh god.
Back at me time.
Oh, that is gonna haunt my nightmares.
I'm gonna release this to everybody by the way, so don't worry. Everybody will have access to this beautiful piece of art. I think deep fakes. I think deep fakes are really scary. This was way too real. I think. Yeah, free open source software is at its best.
Oh my god, that was so creepy.
So I guess that was it. Happy 0.7.0.
All right. Well, Jesus, let me just shake that off for a second. Yeah. Well, thanks for organizing this. This was great. I really liked giving everyone a chance to just come on and just do whatever they wanted to do. Yeah. So just technical update though before we go. I'm still compiling some tarballs. I got to upload them. The release notes are just not going to be as comprehensive this time. I apologize for that, but I'll just upload what I have, and we'll move on. We'll keep making progress, and next release I'll have a place to live and reliable internet and all that good stuff.
Oh, and maybe so 0.8 it should be at least 6 months from now, right?
Yes.
So maybe I'm too optimistic, but in 6 months, maybe something will reopen. Maybe we'll be able to have a in-person release party.
Oh,
that would be nice, huh?
It would be nice. It would be very nice.
Yeah. Well, we can hope. Yeah.
Yep. And no, I'm not gonna dab and say bruh. So stop.
There's been so many points in this. Oh man.
Oh my god. You know what? Okay. If we get to our funding goal for ZSF, where are we at right now? We're at 51%. I will dab and say bruh if we get to 8,600. There you go.
Oh, that's a date then. We'll get there. Prepare. You should start like preparing your arm muscles and everything else. We want a super deep dab.
Yeah, and I'll practice and I'll get some feedback on my form and make sure it's a good one. Yep.
Okay then. Andrew, any final words before we call it a day?
Well, thanks everyone for bearing with me through this weird release cycle, but we got it done. Thanks to everyone submitting pull requests and helping each other out. And let's get this self-hosted compiler done for 0.8. Let's make it happen.
Yeah, man, I'm really looking forward to that. Also because, who knows, this might be my chance to actually contribute to the compiler itself. I contributed to the standard library, C++, not gonna touch it. But self-hosted, that's fair game. So yeah, looking forward to that. Before we leave, I just want to say one last thing. Again, as I said, like I said in the beginning, thank you everyone for caring and paying attention. I assure you, without this, like my job would be impossible. If people don't pay attention, you miss out on the nuances, on the good stuff. It's harder to build a community because if you don't pay attention, you only notice the bad things. The good things tend to go unnoticed. Nobody talks about those, not very much, right? So thank you again. As long as we can keep this up, I'm sure we are set for success. There is no way, there is nothing that can actually pose any threat to what we are doing. It's really just a matter of being kind to each other, be understanding, putting in the mental effort that it takes to understand what other people are saying, because sometimes we take it for granted. But since I started speaking in another language, I kind of had to realize this first person. It's not easy to understand people, and it takes a lot of effort, both to express yourself and to understand. So I think we're doing a fantastic job. Let's keep it up, and let's move forward to Zig 1.0. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Loris.
Bye-bye.